Guess who slept in a little bit? It wasn't even the alarm's fault this time, I was just EP. It's like 15 minutes before I needed to get up, and I was like, oh yeah, I can roll over. I shouldn't have rolled over. That was a bad idea. But we're here now. We're always gonna be here now. It's time to jump back into Phoenix's extremely normal and legal law machine. Yeah, I was just talking to Mina about, like, the real-world implications of this. In fact, we'll get Mina on the conversation here, because I'd love to hear her, comment on it. Hey, well, Mina.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm waking up. Vulpix commented on the thing we were talking about earlier, about Phoenix's very real and not at all just diegetic framing, sorry, non-diegetic framing of the scene, and I was like, wait, is Phoenix a programmer now? Like, what is this thing?
The Mason system is a fantastic way of making this case work gameplay-wise. I have no idea how it works narratively.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure in every single country it's illegal for jurors to conduct their own investigations, so there's that as well.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, because the player is being essentially placed into the vision of a juror, essentially, going through the system Phoenix is set up to show them. But yeah, like, it relies on the juror's ability to deduce the case for them to know the information they need to know. Yeah, very good contrivance in terms of, like, putting the player into the path of the actual stuff going on here. But at the same time, like, what? Phoenix? I don't know if this is legal. Oh god, I feel like I had a jumping off point there, but... Well, I guess, between, some of the stuff we've learned so far, like, so, what I'm gathering so far is that, initially, like, it was left very, not clear, for obvious reasons, but it's now seems pretty clear that someone tried to set up Phoenix. This wasn't like Phoenix being so jack of the system that he actually forged evidence to try and get it passed and didn't manage to get it past the judge. Which frames this a little differently, because, like, the idea that Phoenix would resort to that, you know, much like Edgeworth had in the past, is a very kind of, like, ironic turn of events. You know, obviously for very different reasons, but... Not that this is less interesting, but that would have been, like, a very, very, like, revealing moment as a character, that even he is capable of doing the kind of shit Edgeworth did for his own goals, you know, more
For
righteous,
nefarious purposes.
Exactly. Far yeah, like more righteous than Edgeworth, I would argue, but at the same time, like, still nefarious, like, as you mentioned. Him being set up is... I don't think I like that as much, but it's still like a... Because I really would have adored, like, the Dark Age of Law requiring Phoenix to play dirty, and that's the problem. Like, he tried to play dirty, and people, like, you know, someone caught him, and now he's out. And now he's, like, essentially wasted his opportunity to affect things. Thus, Apollo coming around and, you know, once out from under Kristoff's wing, can be used for his purposes instead. And this is setting up to be a lot, like, setting up for Phoenix to be, I guess, a lot less... What's the word I want to use here? Like... Well, yeah, a lot less underhanded. And more a victim of... Is it actually the system? Is it just... Who I'm assuming is Kristoff at this point. Just being sick of Phoenix? That... Like... Yeah, it ranges from... Well, sorry. Instead, like, I feel like... Oh, so I don't want to get into, like, critique or anything like that, but, like... I'm interested to see where they go with this, because having Phoenix just be another victim of it is less interesting to me than him succumbing to a similar thing that a lot of the prosecutors he's met has. And that says something about the system. It's a lot more straightforward and kind of just rote, I guess, when Phoenix gets ousted because the system is bad and they don't want him there. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling a fair bit without too much of a point.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, I guess it's the kind of subject you can't really comment on without, like...
Exactly, yeah. I'm just making the Buzz Lightyear face this whole time.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting that. Yeah. Well, with that, that's probably enough rambling for the opening here. Let's get to it. The Mason system. Alright.
Named after famous lawyer Perry Mason. Real life lawyer. Definitely not fake.
Now, there is something important I want to go and do before we move on.
It's critical.
Yes. My mentor's favorite plant, Charlie. I guess watering Charlie's my only real job now. Wait, I'm a child now. I can't feed Trucy like this. She probably needs more than the occasional watering too, I'm guessing. Failed Dad Phoenix. God.
Huh?
Don't worry.
I do love that despite him being a bit of a fuck up, she loves him so much. Like, she obviously lives a very happy life despite, you know, his shortcomings.
She, like, initially she is just kind of a beacon of sunshine, not really thinking too much, and just like, okay, yeah, you're my daddy now, but, like, you know, in the present, very clearly, like, cares for Phoenix deeply.
But even in the past, she was comforting him for losing his job on the same day that she lost her dad and her entire world.
Yeah. Yeah. God. Turnabout Succession, aka Phoenix's sugar daddy, lets him do a little jury manipulation as a treat. Who let him do this? I don't understand. We probably could have gone back and talked to Meekins, but we'll go here first to kind of get everywhere before we do much else. Oh, this is probably going to be Measham, isn't it?
Yeah. Measham the Elder.
Yep. I figured you'd come here sooner or later. I decided on sooner. Drew Measham, was it? I haven't done anything illegal. And I didn't come to whine about past events. I wanted to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right. That day, the entire court descended into chaos. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit it made quite an impression on me. I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations. Phoenix Wright, was it? I'll answer what I can. I'm not sure, but... it feels like I'm being watched intensely. Aww. This is my daughter. Dara, say hello. She's gone. Shall we begin then? Oh boy, this is gonna be a lot of me talking to myself.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Or, yeah, it was kind of inevitable. And we don't have a Maya to really bounce off of, but, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave and come back in. For some reason, this stream keeps like stuttering super hard for me.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna double check I'm not doing something else while that is happening.
Okay, let's see if that's any better.
Yeah, let me move some stuff around for you. Is that being a bit less stuttery?
So far.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if it starts up again. I can't see anything that would really be hindering that on my end, so I can start and stop the stream on your end, on Discord too, if we need to give that a bit of a jump start. Alright. Mr. Misha. Judging from this place, you're a painter? Not, sadly, a profitable one. I've never sold a painting. It's a source
Yeah,
of...
as you can see, this place looks much shabbier
yeah,
back then than it does in the
very
present day.
drab. Yeah, it's just like, oh my god, like, yeah, in the 7 years that happened, they managed to do some foundational work on this apartment. Like, it's very funny to consider, like, in reality that, like, you know, it essentially looks like really cracked, like, plaster, no wallpaper or anything like that, and then you come here in the future and it's just it's a really nice place.
Yeah.
How did they do the foundational work on this apartment?
Maybe it's like a bungalow, like a one-story house.
Oh yeah, that would fit too, given, you know, their financial situation here. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. I'd be able to get by were it only me. How stinks I need to exploit my daughter about this. Well, I mean, there is unfortunately something cogent to a person or people in this situation being forced to, like, you know, get their kids to contribute to the finances in some way to, like, make ends meet. Like, I know we kind of laugh about, like, ha ha ha, child labor seems like such a prevalent thing here, but, like, yeah, unfortunately for poorer people, that is, like, unironically, actually. It's obviously not, like, legal, in a lot of places for someone that young to work, but, yeah. Your daughter? Her mother grew weary of me and left. I don't want to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. That is why I began my other occupation. Forgeries. Very good animation, too. Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is that I do. Half of the paintings they bring me are stolen. Who knows what my copies are used for? But some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, but that was my first work outside of painting.
The stuttering is back, so I'm just gonna quickly restart my Discord and see if that helps at all.
Okay, no worries.
This is such a bummer. I was literally streaming for like 4 hours yesterday, and it wasn't doing anything.
Oh, weird.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. That sucks. I should probably try and restart the stream on my end if this doesn't end up helping. Oh boy. Yeah, like I'm not expecting Phoenix Wright to you know, be uh touch on like the poverty angle like too much outside of using it as like a reasoning for Misham to do what it is he's doing. Welcome back.
Oh, yep. All right, let's hope this helps. I plugged in my Ethernet cable. I was on Wi-Fi before. I Discord and I yeah, and it updated as well, so hopefully that helps a bit.
Okay, yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, again, let me know if it is. Let me know if it does start stuttering for you. I can always like restart my Discord and or restart the stream on
Yeah, for
Discord
sure.
to
I'll let you
help.
know if that continues.
Sweet. Okay. What? I think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I never even imagined the possibility. Then why did you take the job? I was well paid. Very well paid. I think he feels worse about it than I do. The past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. I see. This. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy, but that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me. You know, it would be difficult to escape this. Then, let's talk. Sopping wet creature. Sopping wet from paint.
The type of dad who'll steal his daughter's prize stamp instead of just going to the store like a normal person.
Yeah, God. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did? It's unlike anything I'd attempted before. I guess it would be a little different from paintings. That is not what I mean. That is not what I mean. On my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy. This wasn't a copy? The client gave me two things that day. First was a sample page as reference. Second, the printed document I could only surmise was written by my client. So you used the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote? Yes. As I said, it was my first job of that nature. So, who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester. I never met them. Not personally, Yeah, there it is. Ah, Psyche log. Of course. Seems like you're still hiding something. Something about this work.
Excellent grunting.
Where I feel like there are chains around me. That fucking stand from part 4 that puts a gigantic lock on you.
The lock.
Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Misham? I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I never met the client. True. I asked the client's name. There were no Psyche locks in sight. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. Why are you doing this to me?
Says man who ruined his life.
Yeah, real. What are you treating this like a game or something? This isn't a puzzle for you to solve. Oh, but it is.
Listen, my guy, I play piano once per week at a shitty Russian restaurant. I got all the time in the world.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even have a job to keep me busy anymore. All I've got to do is this. Well, I made my stand. No backing down now. So, What's Misham hiding? The Forger. Well, I mean, we know he's hiding the Forger. That was his whole reason. Well, yeah, he's fronting the business, so to speak. But is that what he's hiding here? Because he said... Was it leading up to this? Like, I never met them, not personally. Which means... Fuck it, I'll take a hit. I can pretty much piece together what it is from what you've said. What is it, then? You told me you knew about the client. Hello, newest girl. How you doing? And I couldn't see any psyche locks. Psycho locks? That's some sort of asylum security? Or a new hairstyle, perhaps? On the market for one. I don't know if I'm still vibing this whole asymmetric buff here. But then they did show up, didn't they? Yeah, who is your client? As I said in court, I do know. Such a suspicious request. If it was me, I'd want to know as much about the requester as I could. Never met them, not personally. Yeah, literally. I guess this is... Yeah. There's been some points in this game in particular where it's been like, no, that happened 5 minutes ago. Why are we discussing this? But, like... This could be like, okay, you went to all of them, you didn't do any of the psyche locks, and you arbitrarily went back and did a bunch of stuff before you came back here. So, makes sense to kind of repeat this here.
Yeah.
Not personally. Those words triggered the psyche lock. Again with the psycho locks. I really must know what they are. So, you didn't meet with the client. Someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence? Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business. But I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about psyche locks. Don't know why I brought it up, honestly. As long as I come to the right conclusion, it doesn't matter how I got there. Okay, a bit eepy, but it's too early for bed. Fair enough. And your conclusion is... The real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Misham. Poppycock. Jesus. How to signal your character's age without telling you. I don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could it have been but me? Well, that's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many other people to choose from. Real forger at your studio is... The real forger is your daughter, Vera Misham, isn't it? Ridiculous. My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. Why, it'd be that'd be preposterous that I'd put my own child through having to work and... Oh, it's too hot in here. I've always been one for landscapes, not surrealism. Nice comeback. You're shaking in your boots. I've got you now. The only two people with access to the studio are you and your daughter. Psyche locks tell me you're not the forger. Which makes your daughter the only possibility. I feel very much on the urge of going psycho lock myself. No, it's psyche... never mind. Yippee! Alright, fess up. I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12. A genius, you might call her. A precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently. Thank you, Phoenix. I let her play in the studio, and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. Drafting tools and analytical devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now. Oh, do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So, Vera was the one who made this page. Would she know who the client was, then? actually, the client came once. Here, to the studio. What? Why didn't you say so sooner? Oh, their face was covered, and they did not want to talk to me. So, they talked to your daughter? I will speak only with the artist, the client told me. That little girl is key to our mystery client's true identity. I do like how we're integrating the old music into this particular leg of the game.
It's really fun.
Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more? Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Do I get dialogue with the father? I suppose there's no sense in rushing things. Let's see if there's any more to get out of Daddy first. No, okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. It won't let me skip forward, damn it. Mr. Measham, I have a request. Let me guess. You'd like to speak with my daughter. Can I? My daughter's never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy. Extremely so, actually. With only one exception. Which was... oddly enough, it was that client. Huh? I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort. Oh. That's very sad. Please, let me speak with her. Alright. Please have an animation of you drawing on that notepad. It's really cute. Uh-oh. This could be tough. Ah. Vero, was it? I would like to have a friendly chat. I'm Phoenix.
Sorry, it's still doing the thing. It's doing the thing again.
Okay, alright. Let's, let me stop the stream, and then, start it up again. Go here, and I can move around on the court record. Just flip between pages. How's that looking?
So far, so good.
Okay. Keep on. I'm Phoenix Wright, ex-lawyer and pianist. I'm still looking for the keys that say do, re, mi. Can't find them anywhere. God damn it, Phoenix. I'm no good at this. I need something to get through to this girl. Anything here? No, same thing. Would you like a friendly chat? Yeah. Hey, can you talk about this? What do you think about this? I think I just made her nervous. I need something to grab her attention, but what?
I mean, you know one thing she likes a lot.
Do I? I know she was laughing. Oh, I might be blanking. I might be stupid.
But why did she keep that stamp for so many years?
Oh, right, because of the, but I don't really have anything Magnethy related, well, other than the crime scene photo, but, okay, maybe I need to come back here then? I definitely know I can talk to Meekins and get past him, because
yeah.
I have a feeling I know what was up with that. Yeah, we can just leave that there. Actually, out of curiosity, does it resume? Yeah, it resumes right where we were. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely proto just going anywhere you want. That's pretty neat. All right.
I love the very like Somehow, for a game released in 2007, it has the most like early 2000s, like late 90s cyberspace background of just a bunch of green zeros and ones floating
Yeah,
around.
no, it's extremely this is what programming in cyberspace looks like, right?
Peepaw Takumi thinks that all computers are like this.
Yep, it's true. And that's how they work in the Ace Attorney universe. Alright. Yeah, you only had the two. The disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins. What do you know? Spit it out. Hey! What's with the atmosphere in here all of a sudden? You know something, and I'm going to find out what. Zach Gramarye vanished from this room. How'd he do it? How, sir? Well, sir, I can't say I... Sir? Why are you so nervous if you aren't hiding something? Well, sir, you see, at the time, sir, I was here, and... listen, it was impossible. What could such
I love that he's got a little like Tanabata charm for good luck.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he had that in the previous games, right?
He did, yeah. I just think it's
Yeah.
it's like such a cute touch because only one sprite has it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What could such a little girl possibly do, anyway? What did you just say? Sir, did I just say something, sir? No, you screamed it through the megaphone, that megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there? Sir, I'm gonna have to revoke my right to remain in a state of not talking. It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zach's accomplice was. I know who was in here in this room that day.
What a bitch. Zach Gramarye is the worst.
Elaborate?
Just tricking his daughter into helping abandon her.
Yeah. It's not very clear what exactly transpired and what Trucy knew, but on the surface of it, yeah. If he got her to play a part in this and then he's just gone, like, bro, what? and then we haven't put the pieces quite together yet, and then he comes back and tries to kill Phoenix, or tries to ruin Phoenix's...
To financially ruin him.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, the man who stepped up to raise your daughter when you fucking left. Like, even if it's under understandable circumstances, it's still like, dude, you do not have like the audacity to be like upset about this situation when you were the one that instigated it in this way.
Exactly. And like it's not like he made a desperate decision after his lawyer presented fake evidence and got him screwed over. He was planning this from the start. Like he was talking about that before he even knew about the forged evidence.
Yeah, just like, okay, if I get declared guilty, that's what I'm doing. It's not even like, oh, because of the extenuating circumstances, this looks even worse for me. Uh-oh. It's just like, nope, that is plan B.
Yeah, it's not. Sorry, Trucy. Daddy has to go now very quickly. I hope you understand someday. It's like, all right, let's rehearse my abandonment of you for the 15th time today.
Oh, yeah. What are you gonna do after you disappear, Daddy? Don't worry, sweetheart.
That's for the grown-ups to worry about.
Yeah. Under no circumstances do you have to hand it to Zach Gramarye.
Like, I'm not, the funniest part about Zach Gramarye is I'm not even sure if Shu Takumi is aware how much of an asshole he is.
Yeah, like, I want to see more about, like, how we actually connect, Zach to Shady. And I guess, like, we're presuming here, and, I guess, you know, from you telling me the situation, like, I can presume it's correct, but, the idea that, like, if it is true that Zach and Shady Smith are the same person, then, yeah, I'd be surprised if the game becomes introspecting, introspective. That's the word I was looking for.
Navel gazing.
Exactly. I'd be curious if it does kind of take a moment to say, like, oh yeah, Zack wasn't exactly the best father, eh? He just kind of jumped and left, and then for reasons unknown wanted to ruin Phoenix. I guess out of petty revenge. That would be my immediate thought. Oh brother, this guy stinks. True. And hello, Charles. How you doing? I've never seen that girl until just the other day. Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it. Sir! Sir, that day, she was here, in the room, sir. But he wasn't. You mean, you chased her into this room, not him? Sir, my days as a police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing. But it was how not to mistake a girl for a 7-foot-tall magician. 7 feet? Zack isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zack Gramarye. But you saw something, and therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? I have my own Mr. Hat for demonstration purposes. What's that? That girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar? So... It wasn't a waking dream, was it, sir? Come again? That night on stage, I saw a vision. Except, it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat. He really exists. Yes, Meekins. Yes, he does. Oh, boy. Vanishing trick. I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zack Gramarye exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him in the corner room, sir. Zack Gramarye, don't even think you can escape Meekins. Down on your knees, floors on your head. Oh, down on your hands, floor on your head. Hello?
Something the matter, mister?
No. That is... Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Even addresses Jersey as sir! Oh. God. Zack...
The littlest sir.
Yeah. Zack Gramarye, do you know him?
Oh, I love Zack Gramarye. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan.
I see. That's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing? Did he give her... No, she was wearing that before he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say...
I really do think that she just wants to imitate him, and that's why she wears that costume and a hat that's way too big for her.
This man would misgender the fuck out of me. No, I guarantee you, newest girl, he has the spirit, but he can't. He compulsively just calls everyone sir. he just doesn't get it. He's just like, sir, I don't understand. Like, you are a woman, sir. And it's just like, bro, please.
The funniest part of working my job is that, like, some customers will say sir on impulse, but some will stop themselves right before they do. And it's so funny how they recover from that. Some of them don't. Some of them just go like, oh, thank you. And then just abruptly stop there.
Pause. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I'm drunken on hotel Wi-Fi. Make sure you're drinking water. Ciao.
I hope you're having fun, Charles. Thank you for spending your precious inebriated hours watching our stream.
Absolutely. Me making the worst voice of all time. Speaking of which, I see. That's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing? Anyway, that very same Zack came into this room.
But no one's been in here except me.
But he has to be in here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug. Rug. Ugh. You know, it's funny. I feel like we never really... The geometry of this room never really came up before. And I never really, like, visualized it outside of just what we're looking at here. So I didn't know if that door was directly to the courtroom or something like that. But, like... This reminds me of Game 2, Case 1, where Phoenix was, like, laying on the couch and someone slammed him over the head with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Like, how did he sneak up on you, Phoenix? This is a square room.
I think it's because Phoenix was literally napping.
Yeah.
He was literally caught sleeping.
Yeah. I'd have to look back at the exact, like, sequence of events, but I feel like there's a shot of that guy leaning around a corner or in a dark, like, corner of the room, but which is also still very funny, because it's like, he's just, like, waiting very clearly in the open with a fucking fire extinguisher ready to brain Phoenix. Oh. That's good. And good to hear, Charles. Keep it up. So, Trucy was his accomplice. Imagine my astonished surprise when 1 week later, I just happened to walk into a bar and see him, Mr. Hat. I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while, I thought it had been a long dream. A dream that lasted a week? But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat. I'm so bad at my job, sir.
You're so bad at his jobs, plural.
Yeah. Yeah. Though it seems complex, what really happened that day was quite simple. Okay. You were standing by the door, and out came Zach. Right? But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act, and she was standing in front of lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat. Ah, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? So, while you are standing in shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner. And most likely runs through the closest door into lobby number 1. This is where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit. And at that very...
He's always catching strays from everyone who talks to him.
God. So I know
His pursuit isn't even hot enough to be called a hot pursuit.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised we're just getting told this rather than, like, deducing it. But it's neither here nor there. I'm just kind of surprised, honestly. Constantly worn between wanting a glass of wine and saying sober. I'm pretty sure I could be normal about a glass of wine at dinner, but I also don't want to even attempt it, you know? That's fair. Or don't want to even attempt it, excuse me. Yeah. I mean, yeah. On the weekends, I usually have at least, like, 1 glass or something on, like, a Saturday, Friday night. But, yeah. Like, depending on your tolerance and stuff like that, too. Like, and especially wine. Wine can be very deceptive in terms of its, effect on you. Red wine in particular, in my experience, but... And at that very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2. Then all she has to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat. Yeah, and then Zack is alone in lobby number 1, doing whatever the hell he wants. Sir, I only lost sight of him for the briefest of moments. And I saw that cape. Zack Gramarie's red cape fluttering like a cape. Astounding, sir. Are you in awe of my wordplay, sir? All my days of posing queries and making inquiries and chasing quarries wasted. It was as if I could see them melting away like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die, or the scattered remains of messily eaten chocolate parfait. Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you'd suffered on account of this case. It's an honor, sir. I've apologized to people many, many times. Sometimes more than once. But this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me. Actually, about that girl, I'm sort of her guardian now. Is that so? Sir, you should know I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor. Okay. I let the defendant escape. That's the stone cold truth. Just another step on my way from signing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great detective Gumshoe. Is that meant to be Gumshoe, or did he actually say Guamshoe?
Guamshoe.
Does he have an accent? They should get Meekins a job at, like, GameStop or something and be like, alright, Meekins, here, this is really important. You need to work undercover here. So he thinks he's being an awesome cop. An awesome, cool cop man, just like Dick Gumshoe, yeah.
Can you imagine, like, Meekins trying to sell you a $3 replacement, plan?
God. Sir, I promise you, the disc protection is a really valuable investment, sir.
Sir, you gotta. The wolves are at my door. I haven't met my pre-order quota. They're gonna fire me.
Meekins' Gil is... Oh, fuck. That's too good. Holy shit. Oh, man. Mr. Meekins, this is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want. It's an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I've had taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given me anything for free. Right. I'll see you in court next time then, sir. I look forward to it. Meekins, I just lost my... Okay. Cool. All eyes were on Zach Gramarye that day in court until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery has been revealed. But the magician remained out of... Oh, actually, this is... Future Phoenix. Now part of the mystery has been revealed. But the magician remained out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again. You met Meekins again? Huh. I hate how his jaw becomes suddenly not trapezoidal when he grits his teeth. Yeah. Oh, I didn't press anything. Oh. Huh. That's... One of those didn't open a thing last time. That's interesting.
So I think the only two left here, you don't have enough evidence to clear yet. So it's time to hit that big triangular button in the bottom right there.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
Whoa! This is how computers work. Oh man. Borscht Bowl Club. Is this gonna be from Phoenix's perspective? Because
it
why?
Sure will.
Yeah, because why would Apollo be going back there? And I guess, yeah, the conceit here is that this is showing things Phoenix knows, so it would be necessarily from his perspective. Oh, are we gonna talk to fucking Shady? Present day, Borscht Bowl Club. Well, precisely a couple weeks ago. Oh.
I'll be taking my leave now.
Welcome back, Kristoff.
Still have some work to do back at the office.
Then I guess I'll go back to my piano.
To be honest, it's better when you aren't playing.
Bitch.
This frigid culinary dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later then.
2 hours left on my shift.
Boy, do I feel that, Phoenix.
Yeah. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight.
You know who I am?
Who I am? No. But if you hum it, I can play it. Just kidding. I don't do requests.
Oh, a different sort of request.
I don't know why. It feels like someone has shoved that hat onto his head. Like it shouldn't be that low on his head, nor like that short.
Remember, he's bald. He don't got a single hair under there.
I suppose so, but it's still like
much,
the visual is not working for me for some reason.
much like Bart Harley Jarvis, he's got a completely flat back of his head.
uh,
You see, I play cards.
oh, a customer. I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from a night at the Keys.
I seek a true competition. I've heard the Borscht Bowl Club is the place for this. Now I see the rumor is true.
And this is... Uh... a friend of yours? Ah, don't mind me. I'm just your friendly neighborhood newsman.
Ah, he will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I'll send him home. This competition will be between us, no others.
Right Talent Agency represents 2 artists. I'm number 2. I play piano. Well, sort of. It's actually just a front for my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me how I got started. I don't remember. But I'm good. Real good. It didn't take long for the rumors to get around. Go to the Borscht Bowl Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards. Is this a seedy poker club? No, it's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes. There's no money involved. But real players carry cash. And they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. Do we know who the club owner is?
No, it's just some nebulous employer who probably went up to Phoenix after he got disbarred and was like, "Hey, you want to make some money on the side?" And Phoenix probably said, "Well, I'm not making any money on the front, so."
Yeah, I would like to make money, yes. Then let's compete. I'll take you to the room.
The hideout, yes. But before we go,
Yes.
allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shady Smith.
Thank you for that delivery. Oh, and I'm Bushel, Spark Bushel, news reporter. Oh.
Just huge. I am Mr. Snrub energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I'm...
No, Phoenix right.
Huh?
You must always look a man in the eye when you make your introductions. You still do not know who I am.
Have we met? Ah.
Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I am talking about this.
Mr. Enigma? This defendant's escaped. Find him, quick!
Bailiff, close all exits from this building. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape.
You can't be. But you're... Zach Gramarye?
Yes, the reincarnation act of the century.
I'm surprised he's being upfront about this.
Today I only have an audience of one. You.
Zach Gramarye? This must be a bad dream. In a sense, this guy ruined my life.
You there. Da? We will play soon. Ready the room. Da, I will be preparing the hideout for you.
Are you really him? The Zach Gremory?
No, I am Shady Smith. Remember this.
I did say Smith, right? How many years has it been now? 6?
In exactly 3 days from now, it'll be 7. I caused you much inconvenience, I fear.
Yeah, you could say that.
Is she well? Brucey, I mean.
She's fine. I've got her working already. Hope you don't mind.
I need hardly express my gratitude, but you have it.
Huh. Oh, yeah, also, just like the fucking audacity of just going, is she well? Like,
Like Phoenix is like, oh, you mean after you abandoned her?
exactly. I'm surprised he
knowing
didn't.
that she had knowing that she had no living relatives and would go to an orphanage if I hadn't step up and take care of her despite making no income.
I'm very surprised he hasn't said anything to that effect yet.
This is why I have come. That and to settle the matter of cards.
By which you mean poker. Those eyes. He's serious.
I despise losing above all else. And so I have decided that I will win tonight, no matter what it takes.
I know this guy's type. And they're dangerous. Everything's about the competition. All else is secondary.
Perhaps we should take the time to talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And I, you.
Mm-hmm. I see. The meaning of competition? Jesus.
And also that girl, I guess.
Yeah. Let's get philosophical for a moment. We competed that day 7 years ago. We competed that day 7 years ago, too.
Yes, you must have been surprised. Called to the detention center out of the blue.
Huh? 2,
This was the intro scene of the case.
1. Showdown time. Oh.
I lost.
It's only a game of poker. Game I played for
A
a
game
long...
I've played for a long time, and only lost twice.
Is that... Phoenix? Oh, yeah, no, Phoenix has never lost. Yep, no. That makes sense. Who was the first?
The man I killed, of course.
You chose your defense attorneys by playing poker.
Some are hired, others fired. When you compete, you see a man's true nature. You know what I speak of. I know that you do.
Trucy's power.
Brucey. She's in a class of her own.
For 7 years I played poker here at the Borscht Bowl Club. I've never lost once. I'm good. But not that good. I win because whenever there's a big game, I bring in Trucy. And she sends me signals.
Daddy, he's got a good hand. You might have a chance if you act quick. Better call him soon.
Damn, Trucy's a good poker player as well. Can you tell me what her power is?
Judging a person's thoughts by reading their reactions is a staple of performance magic. But those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill.
You see, Mr. Wright, Webster's dictionary defines competition as... Very good, thank you. Her line?
Recall you were the second man to whom I've lost.
Magnifique Gramarye.
That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it.
Wait, so you're saying her power is genetic? It's just in the Gramarye blood or something?
Blood. I'm sorry, but it's not something something told lightly to outsiders. And it is something you need to know at this time.
Some kind of Gramarye secret, then. Fine. Alright. Anyway, about your daughter.
She's 15 this year, counts on his fingers.
Yeah, God. Oh yeah, we have transported into the future for our...
How old is she? 20? She's like 20, right?
Yeah, God. She's still trying her best to follow in your footsteps, you know?
I see. When I planned my disappearing act, it was the thought of her alone that gave me pause. Not for long, though. I ducked the fuck out of there right quick.
It didn't stop me from rehearsing this like 15 times before we got it right, but... Wait, you were planning on vanishing from the get-go?
Yes, and for that I must apologize. Moving on. I could not be found guilty that day. Because of this.
I hereby give all rights to the secret staging and performance of my magic to the recipient named below. Zach Gramarye. This?
A transferal of rights. You see the signature?
Transferal? That's Magnifique Gramarye's signature, isn't it? I hereby give all rights to the secret staging and performance of my magic to the recipient named below. And the recipient's name is you, Zach Gramarye.
Yes. 'Tis I.
Why would you be so selective with your lawyer if you're just gonna dip anyway? Well, I mean, get a good defense and see if he has to actually, use that, or fire that, metaphor that means use the thing. Wait, this page looks torn.
You recall the diary, yes?
First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page.
Wait, let me see that.
How could I forget? That scrap of paper lost me my attorney's badge.
This is the real page that was torn from the book. Magnifique gave it to me that night.
Could have told me this earlier. Like, 7 years earlier.
Once again, I must apologize. Not too much, though. I don't really regret it. It was all I could do to prepare my escape from that courtroom.
So, you played poker with your defense lawyers to make sure that they were good, and then you didn't give them the information they needed to defend you.
He's such a fucking jack-off.
And specifically having that page would have signaled to Phoenix that something was up about the other...
Yep.
Sir, what were you thinking? God damn, I can finally abandon my daughter. Better not think about anything else. Like, what the fuck? Oh.
Sorry, old chap. I was too busy preparing to abandon my only living relative.
Yeah.
It slipped my mind.
That's insane. Oh my god, what a piece of shit. Transferal of rights.
The greatest of Magnifique Grammar's illusions are true art. As such, they are well protected by this document. Only its bearer may perform his illusions on stage.
Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple.
As the rightful heir to his art, I too wanted a rightful heir.
Rightful?
I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor.
Your daughter.
That's why I have risked it all to come here tonight.
Okay, assuming he's being truthful here, what the fuck is the point of beating Phoenix at cards? Like, this seems even more petty!
Russell?
Sir! Ah, here you go. What's this?
A letter passing the rights I have inherited to Trucy.
Right.
I would have you sign here as a witness.
But I'm not a lawyer anymore. And you need a public notary besides. Ah, I may not look it, but I'm a certified notary.
Of course you fucking are.
Yeah, of course. You are?
I know two certified notaries in real life, and they're both fucking gigantic nerds.
Yeah, that tracks. By day, I wear a notary's glasses and hunt for news. Also, by day, I wear a reporter's glasses and notarize. When I take off the glasses, I can't see very well.
Like, I think the most charitable narrative read I can see for why Zack does this and then still tries to ruin Phoenix is that he is jealous and upset that Phoenix is able to beat him at cards and has been undefeated for his 7-year streak. And he just wants to win. He just wants to beat Phoenix and get one over on him after all these years. But yeah, even then, like, the consequences would be disastrous if he actually pulled it off.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Well, I guess the thing is that, like, in his mind, passing off the rights of the Grammarys, or of Magnifique Grammary's secrets to Trucy would set her up for life. Thus, it isn't actually a problem for him to potentially ruin Phoenix in this way. And, you know, Lord knows Trucy's probably pulling her own weight as it is. But it's still like, my guy, you, like, already you have left so much up to chance by just abandoning the situation that, like, introducing even more variables and chance to that is just irresponsible. Like, and yeah, all for, like, a petty fucking notch on your belt in terms of, like, yes, I beat Phoenix Wright at poker. I fucking... he already beat you. He's already one of the people who beat you.
GGDG of Cucumber Quest fame made an excellent comic about how much of an asshole Zack Grammary is that I'm excited to show you once we finish the case.
Oh, awesome.
It does have some pretty big endgame spoilers, so I can't show it yet, but it's fantastic.
Awesome. In a secret treat for later. Yeah, and he cheated. Like, it's not even like I legitimately beat you. It's just I need you to lose.
Yeah.
Well, no. Sorry. The whole thing is framing Phoenix as cheating, not specifically winning. But yeah, still. Document transferring the right to perform the Grammary repertoire to daughter Trucy. Ah, I finally figured it out. Now I know why you've come out of hiding only now. It's been 7 years, you said?
Precisely.
7 years. There's a law that covers your situation. After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. So, if someone was to vanish from the face of the Earth 7 years ago, they would lose all rights as a living person after 7 years from that day. Not to mention all of their possessions.
Exactly, which is why I am here. I risk showing my face in public for the sake of this document. Before my 7 years are up. You might say I am securing my daughter's inheritance.
Yeah. But do you really need this document? Wouldn't Trucy inherit your estate automatically?
Not in this case, I'm afraid.
This case?
Yes, I received the performance rights from Magnify Grammary. However, this was done in secret, without witnesses. Before Magnify died, 2 potential successors to his repertoire were named. Myself, Zach Grammary, and Valent Grammary. Not Trucy.
I see. So you do need this document.
I've known Brushel since before I vanished. He's a man I trust, for some reason.
Okay.
Now only the 3 of us know of my rebirth.
I took the liberty of looking into Trucy's background. Found you had no other close kin.
It is as you say.
Okay. Was kind of hoping he'd say something about the mother at this point. I know everyone else, but Trucy's mother is a mystery.
Alright, time to crack some locks, baby!
Yeah. Give it a shot. Grammary secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine.
And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you.
Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. I mean, you just up and abandoned her, and I had to make rent.
Yeah, don't be a fucking hypocrite, Zach. You used her to escape a murder conviction. Like, that's way worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck, man? Hello, pot. Kettle's calling.
Yet I myself have no such power.
But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Thalassa Grammary?
I will not speak of that.
You can really tell how much the writers don't realize Zack is an asshole from how Phoenix expresses no fucking resentment about him abandoning Trucy. Yeah. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, that happened. Magicians, am I right? Like, at this point, that's what I'm chalking it up to, is like, those magicians always, abandoning their family, including people who are under the age to work and support themselves. Wow, wizards suck. Dark magic attack on my daughter's childhood. Newest girl. God. Mind crush. Actually, sorry, 1 second. Did I actually... Okay, I did change the title of the stream. Good. Still the same on OBS. Got worried for a second there. Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. Because... the only thing I really have is the locket. Transfer of rights doesn't really make sense, because Magnify was really only talking about Valent and Zack. I could give that a shot. I don't think there's really anything else that works here. Fuck it, give it a shot. No. Well, Mr. Zack.
Let me be frank. It's true, I do not wish to talk of her. And now there is another I could care less about. You. Phoenix voice. That means you care at least a little.
Yeah. What is that supposed to mean? Frank, but you said your name is Smith. Good. For some reason, it's extra scary when magicians threaten me. It's years of being told off by Trucy. I better rethink my strategy here.
Okay, so I actually don't know if you have all the information for this one yet. Have you shown him the locket yet? I think you have to show him that before the Psyche locks to get more info with him.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess I did get kind of prompted to be like, oh wow, wouldn't it be great if you could prompt him to talk about Thalassa? This person in the photo is Trucy's mother.
How did you come by this?
Trucy showed it to me. She said her mother was gone.
Then it is so.
Huh?
He is gone. What more is there to say?
Lots? Ah, I know. Whoa, you're still here? On my in-depth research, Trucy's mother, Magnifie Gramarye's only daughter. End quote. What? Magnifie's daughter? Is that true, Mr. Zack?
Russell, you say too much.
Why did you bring him here?
Purely to notarize.
Yeah. Hey, what? Why am I the bad guy? Why? Zack decked him.
Hey, maybe he's not so bad after all.
No, actually, no. I'd say that speaks more negatively to his character, to be honest. Like, he brought him here, didn't realize he was a blabbermouth, and then blames him and hits him. Like, fuck you, Zack.
In any case, Mr. Wright, this discussion is over.
Thalassa Gramarye. She's the most mysterious of the whole lot. I need to gather me some more evidence, clearly.
Well, the prelude may have been longer than the main attraction. Shall we begin our game? My final competition?
Final? Why?
As you said, I have come out of hiding today to make this document legally binding. Once that is done, I shall slip once more underground, like Sonic the Hedgehog.
God. Without seeing your daughter.
Why would I want to see my daughter? It's been 7 years, I can keep this streak going. It would be best if I did not.
I could be going for the world record. I best not break that.
7 years ago we played. 7 years ago I lost. I already lost to Magnifie. I do not care to lose to another. And I've heard that you never lose.
But you already lost to him. Oh my god, his motivation is so weird here. It's just a rumor.
A game rumor. Yes, for it is impossible to never lose unless one has an ace up one's sleeve. As a magician, it causes me no end of irritation. I think a mere lawyer might be out there pulling the wool over so many eyes.
So you're jealous. Hey, I just signed your document for you. Maybe you could try lightening up?
That was that. This is this. For my final competition, I will destroy your perfect record, Phoenix Wright. This will be my final performance. You were warned.
beyond serious. So much for a fun evening of cards.
Ruffle, get the fuck out.
Ah, but it's your last game. I mean, what a scoop.
I punch, but still it's not enough.
I just remembered a future, prior engagement. Toodles, gentlemen. Oh, and nice meeting you, Piano Man. Zooms out of the room.
And let us begin, dealer. Da. You will be witness to our competition. Da, it is honor for me.
Why haven't I seen her around here before?
Ah, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however.
Hmm?
Gavin, I believe was his name.
You know him?
After a fashion. And listen, Phoenix Wright. One can learn much from a true competition. Remember this.
Grammary power. I was close to understanding it, but I needed more. And I knew where to get it. Trucy's mother. I need to meet that reporter again. That was clear. And one other thing. From the moment my final competition with Zack began that night, a name was running through my head. The name of a man now in prison. A name Zack Grammary knew. But how? And why? That's a very good question, Phoenix. Oh! I'm surprised we... Well, I guess it's not checked because... Yeah, of course it's not.
Yeah. Very interesting, though, huh?
I guess that makes sense because Kristoff clocked that, you know, he would want to kill Zack. But, and I think I mentioned this last time when I was, like, thinking that, you know, Zack had to be involved... Well, sorry, that Kristoff had to be involved in this somehow, because why would he end up murdering Shady without, you know, knowing who that is? But, like... Yeah, so, like, if my running theory is that Kristoff is the one who, poisoned the stamp, because... like, basically working backwards from the fact that he killed Zack Grammary, it would make sense that he'd want that, and assuming he actually set up the forgery, that, he would want, yeah, he would, if he killed Zack, which is about keeping the past in the past, because he was also involved with the forgery, which would mean that he has reason to also kill, Vera, and, well, and I guess Drew. But there's still a big question of, like, how is he actually connected here? And obviously that's what we're starting to get at now, is like, ooh, Kristoff is involved in this somehow. But...
Much to think about.
Much to think about, on a break, because it's about that time. So, and this is a good place as any, I think, to take a break. When we come back, whew, ex-husbands are about to meet.
I'm so excited to do this. See, I love voicing Kristoff. He's one of my favorite voices to do.
Yeah, I can tell. Alright, we'll be right back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, that took a bit longer than I was expecting, but it is what it is. Ooh, Deltarune progress update.
Yeah, sounds like chapters 3 and 4 are very close to being done, and 5 is underway, so super excited for that to come out.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I I like part of me hopes that chapters 3 and 4 are a little bit longer since it'll be the first ones that they're actually charging for, but part of me also just relishes the experience of being able to park my ass down and blitz through a new chapter of Deltarune in one night to avoid any spoilers.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, hopefully the fact that there's actually 2 chapters to get through makes people at least, like, take time before they start fucking posting spoilers immediately.
Let's hope, yeah. I remember when Deltarune Chapter 1 came out, it came out during my last year of university. And oh no, sorry, it was the year after my last year of university. So my first year working full time.
Yeah.
And I was homesick that day. Like I wasn't at the office. And everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And Toby Fox just posted a weird new thing, and I downloaded it. And I downloaded it at around like I think like 9 a.m. And I was like, "Oh okay, this is cute. This is like a cute. This is probably like a little demo for whatever he's making next."
Yeah.
And then it kept going and kept going and kept going, and I was like, "I'll just finish this up quick, then I'll go grab breakfast." And I didn't leave my room until 2 in the afternoon, and I was done.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that was like such a special moment. Like, holy shit, he did it. The madman did it. He released like an entire game for free as a teaser for other games he's making.
Yeah, Jesus. Like, I appreciate the way he's kind of, like, talked about and kind of organized the game in terms of, like, the first 2 chapters being free as he kind of fleshes out what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think part of his reasoning was it didn't really feel right for the fact that the game is going to be much bigger to charge each step of the way, but only once it was so big. Or once he could justify actually putting a price on it, I guess.
I really hope that he charges full price for the full version. Like, in my heart, I know that he's such a strangely generous soul that he's going to charge like $15 for the whole game.
Yeah.
But he could charge me $70 for this, and I would play it. I would pay $70 just for chapters 1 and 2. Like that is 10 hours of good ass video game. Like,
I'm curious if I don't know if he's actually talked about it, but I am curious if they're going what they're going to go for is charging for the first 4 chapters and all the subsequent chapters, or if the subsequent chapters.
It sounds like it'll be a one-time purchase, so you can play chapters 1 and 2 for free whenever you want, but you have to pay to unlock 3 and beyond.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh man. Take your time, man. I mean, he's already like, the team has obviously already taken their time. Like,
yeah, it's been 4 years since chapter 2. They are taking their time on this.
Yes, no, I'm glad. I would hate, especially a follow up to something so like something so culturally significant to the internet, for him to just be like, oh no, let's just get it done ASAP and not really let it breathe and become its own thing.
Yeah, I mean, Undertale's kind of like his ultimate passive source of income, because like all he does is, put the game on sale 3 times a year, sign off on merch from like Fangamer and other websites.
Yep.
And just like he just makes his money through that. Like he can live off of that.
Yep. And what's crazy too is that on like, assuming he is actually paying everyone for their time and like the full amount. Sorry, that's a weird way of saying it. Assuming he does have the income from sales and whatnot to actually pay the team up until this point properly, he's also gone out and like gotten the Radio TV Solutions crew to do shit as well, which is just like supremely cool, but also like, did you actually have the money for this? Like, because I have to imagine they're compensated for their time, because they're essentially doing an advertisement for, Fangamer and Undertale and Deltarune merch, but... Yeah. One could only imagine being in such a position of just like, I did this one thing and now I have passive income for the rest of my life to do what I want.
Yeah, that is quite literally the American dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be successful and you will be set for life.
Exactly. Speaking of set for life, here's the complete opposite scenario. Locked in solitary confinement.
Time to go pick pick around a gilded cage.
Mm-hmm. Present day, Central Prison, Solitary Cell 13.
Well, this isn't an unexpected surprise. What errand brings you down to my cramped confines?
Gavin.
Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago?
I forgot that he implicated himself in that by just saying this was revenge. Shit. Completely. Either I passively took that in and just didn't remember that was the reason I thought that, or yeah. My past is like my logic, straight and true.
Oh, humbug, we both know that first part is not true.
You're straight? Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction.
Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right? You look well, Phoenix Wright.
You too, Gavin.
So I think you want to look around a bit first before you start talking, because there are some things you need to look at before you can get anything.
Yeah, there's an envelope there. It was the first thing I spied when we were looking around. Let's start off on the left though. First, nice roses. You taking care of this one here?
Ah, yes, she's surprisingly delicate, you know. Requires careful tending, but she is my best friend, as they say.
Best? Come on now. Come on now, I'm starting to feel bad for you.
Oh. Of course, she's known to bite if handled roughly.
Your rose bites? I just imagine beleaguered sigh.
Well, I think it's important at this point to point out that roses are a huge, like, symbol of gay culture.
Yep.
I was speaking of the photo next to the rose.
I think I learned that after going through some of the Phoenix Wright games, incidentally.
Yeah, like the word bara, like the genre of, yaoi involving like big buff men, it literally just means rose. Like bara is the Japanese word for rose.
Oh. I didn't know that. Huh.
Male retriever, one goal, cute but feisty.
Is this retriever in the room right now?
I think it's the photo.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, but when he was like, oh, my best friend are taking care of her, I was like, do they let your dog in here as well? Every dog has its thorn.
Every rose has it. Every soul has its dark.
Yeah. Man's best friend, a rose. That envelope's been bothering me since I came in here.
It's not nice to peek at other people's mail.
Fuck that lighting, Jesus.
It's so good. I love the way they draw him.
You get mail here in jail?
That I do, though they read it first, apparently. Still, I am allowed the pleasure of correspondence. Packages they like are a different matter, however.
It's like sneaking a peek is out of the question. That's some chair. Just looking at it makes me want to take a seat. Probably have to add a whole digit to the price of one of my office chairs.
In here, a comfortable chair is the most valuable thing in the world. You'd have to add 2 digits to the price of the standard prison issue chair for this.
Those prison chairs don't look so bad either. Maybe I should redecorate. God, Phoenix.
It's strange, you know. Here I am in solitary, and yet the books keep piling up.
Looks like you've got more than books up there.
Ah, yes, my collection.
Why did you say it like that?
I have a few friends on the prison staff. They show me a little kindness.
Just a little? You know, the usual, a violin, a bird I look after as well, a tea set for when I actually get tea, an exceptionally big collection of books I'm going through. You know.
Phoenix is like, I didn't know you play it. He's like, I don't. I like to drive the other prisoners mad with the sound of my discordant strings.
I have to amuse myself somehow.
Rocco Carcerenti from cell 24B called me a bitch the other day, and he hasn't slept a wink ever since.
Wait, doesn't that mean you haven't slept a wink either? Don't change the subject.
Oh, you should know I don't need sleep.
Yes, I'm perfectly fine. Uh-huh.
He's so much fun to make jokes, but I love him.
Yeah.
Life has been full of surprises for both of us. I have no doubt you never expected to lose that attorney's badge of yours.
You've also lost yours now that I look at your character model. And I'll bet you never expected to wind up here. Shady Smith was the name of the man you killed. Did you know who he really was?
Who he was?
Zach Gramery. You know, the defendant.
I remember him, of course. But you say Smith was Zach? Impossible.
Don't even try to tell me it was a coincidence.
What did I just say? Life is full of surprises, don't you think?
After that trial, you were arrested and found guilty. But your motive was never made clear. A mistake I plan to remedy.
You're not an attorney anymore, Phoenix, right? What possible conclusion do you think this investigation of yours can lead to? I killed a man named Smith with a bottle because I am an evil human being. Isn't that enough?
Not for me, it isn't. I need to know why you did it, Gavin. 7-year-old case. You recall that case 7 years ago?
Ah yes, the trial where Zach Gramery pulled his famous vanishing act. My brother won his fair share of praise and adoration for that trial, as I recall. Genius prosecutor reveals crooked attorney, was it?
That was when I met you, wasn't it?
Was it now?
The Bar Association Review Board voted unanimously for the strictest punishment. Unanimous. Save for one dissenting opinion. Yours.
I wanted to get some. Is that such a crime? It was my brother who was responsible for putting you in that position, after all.
For 7 years, we've been friends. On and off again. That's not what unanimous means, Phoenix. Yeah, right. Unanimous, except not. Phoenix, we really need to talk about how you keep using verbs that don't apply to just... You know what? Never mind. It'd be all day with you.
I see you still haven't dropped your penchant for misusing $5 words.
I assure you, I have gotten far more cromulent at using my vocabulary.
Ah, mein Lieber, I bet you're the type who says irregardless as well.
Phoenix just... Anyway.
The word you're looking for is irrespective, not irregardless. Irregardless is not a word.
It means that you do actually have regard if you put the ear... Fucking... Oh god.
It's a double negative.
I'm doing it again. I need to stop.
Mein Gott.
And yet, I still don't understand you. Oh, that's the gayest thing that's been written in this entire series.
But right, your friendship towards me was never pure.
Never mind! That is the gayest thing that's ever been written in this series.
Like, every single person who's played this game, like, assigns them, like, Chili X's energy. It's great.
Yeah.
You suspected me then, as you still do now, don't you?
Honestly, right now, I'm not sure what I think. You didn't just brain guy with a juice bottle for no reason. Phoenix, you don't have to dress up the vine with me.
If you're not in front of your daughter, it's okay to admit you have a drinking problem.
Speaking of which, when was the last time you shaved? God.
Phoenix is like, I don't have a drinking problem. I'm actually quite good at it.
Yeah. Tell me why you did it.
Persistent, aren't you?
I came here because I remembered something. The night of our game, Zach Gramery mentioned your name, Gavin.
Ah, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He does seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe was his name.
After that, he was killed, and I asked you to help me. Because I remembered your kindness back when everyone had turned on me. Oh. Seemed to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. Cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. I have to know. Why did you kill Shady Smith? No. Zach Gramery. 5. Do it. Yep. Oh! They're a different color! Shut up! He has a different color Psyche Lock?
These are my evil, twisted Psyche locks.
Welcome to my... Yeah! Welcome to my dark, twisted psyche. God. Whoa. I've never seen psyche locks like these. Dark. Cold. Full of despair. Oh, don't say that word. Can I even unlock these things?
Something wrong, right?
The nail polish just appeared on the desk.
It sure did. Keep going.
Huh. Shit. Oh, newest girl, you went in a way different direction compared to where my head was at. It's true, right? I was the mastermind the entire time.
Poop, 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 poop.
Oh, fucking Kristoff doing the Monokuma laugh. God damn. I've always really respected that Junko Enoshima.
She's a real go-getter. A bitch recognizes a bitch when they see one.
Real recognizes real, Phoenix.
Something wrong, right?
No, it's nothing.
You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Life is to be taken easy, you know. Mm-hmm.
He's doing his nails. Huh. It just appeared. Like, it didn't even appear after he, like, brought it up or anything. It just... and I have to imagine that's, like, a limitation or something. Like, loading new background in the middle of a scene would probably be a bit weird.
Yeah,
but...
because it loads out the old background when the Psyche locks come in.
Yeah.
And then when you load back in, that's the only time that it can really, like, appear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're thinking, how metrosexual of you. What self-respecting man would use nail polish?
Christoph, we're gay. No, I'm not wondering that. What? Not really. I know appearances are a big thing with you.
You know what I say? One cannot live a beautiful life without beautiful nails. First rate in all things, except nothing less.
It certainly does look like first-rate nail polish. I like the sparkly bottle.
It's crystal. If you're so drawn to it, please have one. It's on me.
Ooh. Found in Christoph Gavin's cell. The nail polish is colorless. Huh.
It's not like you can present this as evidence in court against me sometime.
Yes, it's just nail polish. I'm sure the fact I'm giving it to you does not at all signal that it will be important for later. Phoenix, why are you putting that in? Why are you putting that in your court record? Ooh. Ariadone. Ariadone?
I don't know.
Yeah, Ariadone. Heard of that brand. This must be the brand symbol. It's supposed to be some kind of flower. Wait, no. Maybe it's a hand? Wait. On second thought, is that an eagle? Hey, Christoph, what do you see when I show you this? I see a hand. Oh. Huh. Who makes these things up, anyway? You'd think they try for a clearer symbol, at least. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird marketing thing to make your symbol something that essentially works as a do you see a like the disingenuous like left brain right brain sees different things thing.
Yeah.
Distinctive mark nonetheless, though. Yeah, let's. Oh. I can't use the Magatama on this.
Yes, black Psyche locks are unbreakable. They represent a secret that is so well kept, or that that the subject has suppressed so much that there's no amount of evidence that can make them admit it. Well, they're going to be a recurring thing in the series from now on, so look forward to that.
Interesting. Oh no, you're right, Vulpix. That was the Funyrimpa. Okay.
So rude. Apologize to the Funyrimpa.
Yeah. Horrible woman. Yeah, let's go talk to... Let's go magically back in time and... Oh, that's not who I thought was here. Oh, no, I'm... Yeah, no. We're talking 7 years ago. She'd be here. I went, ah, yes. She's the accused in this situation. She's obviously in the detention center. Alright. Oh, whoops. What do you think about this? No, Phoenix, you created a time paradox. Oh. Oh. Okay, never mind. Okay, so I'm at a dead end with Gavin. Alright, hang on. Let me back out and just think through the situation here. So, need to talk
Have you
to
have you
Vera.
have you examined Drew Studio? Because I think there might be evidence that you need to break Vera's psychic locks in the background.
Oh, yeah, that might be the case. I also didn't, look around. Oh, yeah. There's some stuff to look at on this desk. Maybe I'll just sidle on over here for a closer look. Enhance. This is you and Vera? Yes. We took that one quite recently. I know, I'm a painter. Why not paint a portrait instead? I've never been that good at people, unfortunately. Ah, right. Shouldn't you practice?
It's honestly so funny that Drew is like objectively shitty at his job.
Yeah.
Like he dedicated his life to a passion that he's not even good at.
What? I mean, you know what? Real. I gotta respect that. Because, like, yeah, there's some hobbies I don't think I'll get to, like, phenomenal at, but...
But see, the difference is these are hobbies. This is what he's chosen to do for a living.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there is a very big difference there, for sure. I mean, shit, it's probably Dunning-Kruger, but I do feel like I have a lot of ways to go as a software engineer, but that probably speaks to, my ability more than, just, being confident that, nah, I'm good. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? A stamp? Please don't touch that. I'll get in trouble. Huh? That stamp belongs to Vera, you see? She always puts it somewhere she can see it. That's Zack and Valen. The Grammarys, isn't it? I don't see women. Oh, and she also took up the color of... Oh.
And the little scarf too.
Yep. The post office issued that commemorative stamp last year, when the Grammarys were at the height of their popularity. Not anymore. Now that one of them has vanished off the face of the Earth. Two of them, Phoenix. Two of them have vanished off the face of the Earth. That is so weird that it doesn't talk about Thalassar at all. That's insane. Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She watched them every time they came on TV, until the end. I see. That stamp's quite hard to come by, I hear. So I wonder how she got her hands on it. Indeed. Suspicious letter. What's this red envelope? Don't touch that. That's, it's quite important. Painter's face just changed hues. Guess I better behave, though it's tempting to just grab it.
What if he did just snatch it? See, what do I have to lose?
Yeah. What would Maya do? Grab it, Phoenix.
It's like, what are you gonna do, sue me?
Yeah. Man who got sued. That's a pretty bottle. Don't touch that, please. I'll get in trouble. Again? It belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. She looks at it often. There's a light pink fluid inside. Nail polish, I'm guessing. Right, and from here we can probably present the stamp. And then there's this.
Damn.
Hey, she spoke. She can talk. Yeah, so this stamp. How can I keep her talking? Great magicians, aren't they? Isn't True Grammary amazing? Yes?
Oh.
I especially like those two, Zack and Valen.
Because they're men.
Yes! fucking weird. It reminds me of a tweet Jazz made that she retweeted recently that's just like, something to the effect of, misogynistic writers making male-to-male relationships that are so believable it looks gay in comparison. Or,
Yeah.
sorry, like, yeah, the inability to write male and men and women relationships so badly that you end up writing, because of misogyny, you end up making the male relationships far more believable. I'm misphrasing that horribly, but
I know what you mean, though.
yeah, it's like it is being danced around so much that I'm like, am I hallucinating? Like, what the hell? I watched a Sarah Z video about this exact thing. Yeah, was that in regard to like? What that was
I think
in
it was
regard to
the-
Sherlock, right?
Yeah, it was that people hated the women in Sherlock so much that they invented male characters that didn't exist just to ship men who didn't have a compatible partner with them.
Yeah. That's a good video from memory. It talks a little bit about too, like, the whole thing with like, I forget her name. Adler? Irene Adler.
Yeah.
Where, oh, we might be thinking of different videos then, Newest Girl. Because in that, she talks about how, like, oh yes, this gay woman that just magically loves a man, and how that plays into some really shitty, beliefs about, you know, why a person would be gay, and what could, quote-unquote, fix that.
Yeah.
Good video. Sarah
Sherlock
Z's
Holmes is such a cool super genius that he can convert gay women.
Yep. Damn. It's hard to believe. Do you believe that? Cue the fucking H-Bomber guy bit. I also just realized that each of them, Valent and Zack have card suit pins, I want to call them, in their capes. And
I think the last is hiding behind her hand. There's diamond buttons on her outfit.
yeah, I was gonna say, it's kind of that strikes me as very deliberate for some reason. I don't know if it actually will be, but you know. And I guess like on all of their capes, including Trucy's, there's always been the card suit motifs on them, so I don't know, they all blend together at this point. I watched them all in lockdown. Yeah, no, I feel that.
Aren't they?
I especially like Thalassa. Who? Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, magic, you know?
Me too. I love them. They're so cool.
This is so adorable.
Yeah. It's like magic. Yeah.
Alright, she's talking. Not saying much, but it's a start.
I went and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Gramarye Museum of Magic.
The Gramarye Museum? They have one of those? I guess it makes sense now that they have their own commemorative stand. Yeah, fucking magicians get such huge play in this universe. It's incredible.
I'm gonna look up if David Copperfield has his own stamp.
Yeah, no, like, I feel like that's...
Okay,
Oh?
not only does David Copperfield have his own commemorative stamp, but it's worth a lot of fucking money.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Wow. So, have you been to one of their shows?
Just once when I was little, with Father. The Gramarye's on stage, it was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together, they do it all.
Yeah. Maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this? You know, about Zack and Valent, maybe?
Oh, sure.
Alright, better get asking before she changes her mind. Quick, she's hyperfixated. We can talk now.
Exactly. It's so cute. I love her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here.
Why don't you like the outside?
There's bad people out there. Oh, look at that. The expression's so pained. It's so sad.
Yeah. Well, true, but there are lots of good people too. Actually, I should tell you. She was almost kidnapped once. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been... Well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. She said she went to the Grammary Museum. With you, in fact. Yes. Actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me.
That person gave me a good luck charm.
A good luck charm?
For when I absolutely had to go outside.
Yes. Apparently she received something. A gift. From a complete oh. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it was. Huh.
Father, I told you to keep it a secret.
From that client, huh? This I have to hear about. But first... So, your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things?
I really like painting. A lot. Father is always very happy when I paint them exactly the same.
So, you did this too?
Oh, yes, that was my first job.
Your first?
All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips and the way the writer held the pen and the pressure in the nib. I had to use a microscope to analyze it on the computer.
She seems happy. Odd. What was the last nail in the Grammary coffin? Guess no one told her.
That's an extra layer of tragedy on top of all
Yeah. By the way, you were partially responsible for your heroes being out of favor now. What's this painting here? Ah, that's one of mine. It's an illustration for a book. It's not on sale yet, of course, but I thought it might be a good business. As a father, I'd like to be able to put food on my daughter's table. Not a feeling I know anything about. At least not yet. I mean, you kind of already with Maya.
Yeah, and Pearl eventually.
Yeah. Actually, kind of surprised, like, he doesn't make a comment on that. Like, it very much treats Trucy as, like, a very unique situation, rather than, like, just Maya but more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, one of my biggest complaints about the sequel trilogy is that they reference each other fairly often, but they almost never reference the original trilogy, which is so weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's a bit frustrating because it means that the series has a very odd sense of continuity, where it feels like the two trilogies are like self-contained stories that don't have any connective tissue aside from, I think, exactly 2 cameos from the original. Yeah, like you like they talk about Rise from the Ashes like in the vaguest possible terms when Mike Meekins appears, but like that's it. Like you never get any like, you know, oh, this is like, you know, when we took down Manfred von Karma, or oh, I remember this kind of scenario from when Matt Ongard, you know, used me to try and get a conviction, to get a, you know, a acquittal even though he was guilty or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a bummer because the Edgeworth duology, like the Investigations games, have a much better sense of continuity than these two do. Like they are constantly calling back to stuff from the original games in very satisfying and interesting ways.
Yeah, like, it's... And even the things that have been referenced so far are very, like, surface level. Like, they've got...
Yeah.
They've got Charlie, but we're not drawing a comparison between Trucy and Maya's situation in relation to Nick. Which is, like, a huge missed opportunity that, like...
The only illusion Maya gets in this game is Phoenix being like, oh, these, some kid I know sent me these videotapes and wants me to watch them. Like, that was your little sister. Like, you lived with her for like 4 years. Like, you gotta do a bit better than that, dude.
Well, but I don't mind that, because it's very much like flippant and just like Phoenix being kind of not
Cheeky?
talking. Yeah, and not talking about his personal life too much either, which tracks for me given what's happened. But the fact that is the only thing there, like, is kind of a mistake when you make him flippant like that, because then the only thing you have to work with is that he's flippant about it. So he doesn't really care that much then? Like, it's a really strange choice. And to some extent, I can understand not wanting to lean on the original trilogy too much, because if you start bringing in the events from those into deep focus in the new trilogy, you can kind of lose, or the new trilogy can lose a bit of its own identity by being tied to that too much.
I feel you, but that happens anyway, so they might as well have leaned into it. Like, in retrospect, I appreciate this game for being a lot bolder with trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
It's very disappointing that in Dual Destinies, it goes back to being the Phoenix Wright Show with special appearance by Apollo Justice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to stop talking about this, because I wanna be as in the dark
Clean
about
as
that
possible.
in particular. Yeah, no, if Okay. That makes some random comments I have seen about this trilogy make a bit more sense now, but now I am deeply curious about how this actually transpires and how I feel about it.
If you saw people being like, oh, that's cute, they're calling it the Apollo Justice trilogy, then yeah.
Yeah. I honestly thought that would have been because, like, at least just from, and to be clear, I don't want any more confirmation one way or the other what's actually happening in the future. But, like, the impression I got was that Apollo would probably be sharing the spotlight more with Nick and Athena, because Athena also becomes a factor in all of this. And that the idea that it was just the Apollo trilogy is kind of a misleading titling of that. Oh boy.
I will say I'll point out two things that aren't really spoilers. First of all, the next two games are called Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spheres of Justice. However, that being said, I still think both are good games. Spirit of Justice more so than Dual Destinies. Dual Destinies is the type of game where, like, it's got some very frustrating moments, but the finale is, like, exquisite. It ends so well.
Yep.
So I'm very much looking forward to going through those with you. Nothing dips as low as Turnabout Serenade, fortunately.
Good.
And, like, it's funny because when I played through it with Luca, she was complaining the entire time about how much she hated the game's design and how, she wasn't enjoying it as much as previous games. And then when she beat the game and looked back, she was like, no, actually, some of these cases are really fucking good.
Oh, okay, wow.
She ended up putting 3 of Dual Destiny's 5 cases in the top 2 tiers of her case tier list at the end.
Right. Yeah. I remember that being, like, it was paradoxical. She put the game in general very low, but all of the cases in it were very high. It was like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and that kind of speaks to the disparity in the game between the narrative and the kind of, like, mechanical or presentational deficiencies.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting, like, a full game ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on this little girl and her magician special interest.
Yeah, exactly. Stamp.
They're the best in the world.
Huh? Oh, you mean Troop Gramarye, of course. Phoenix? What? What could she possibly...
Father gave it to me.
Your father? But I asked him about it. He didn't know how you got it.
I guess I just took it. Yeah.
took it?
Father got a letter from that person.
That person? You mean the letter was from the client?
Oh, we talked about the Gramarys forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it.
They're a sneaky one, this client. So they were trying to get on her good side. Sent from the real client. The client. So, you met the person that asked you to do this job? And you talked with them? Clarify something about the timeline here for me, because we touched on it. Phoenix gets disbarred and meets Kristoff as part of that.
Yeah, at the disbarment hearing.
Yep. Has that happened? I guess...
Yes, So the timeline is a little bit weird for this. So the Meekins part is, I think, between the case and his disbarment. The Trucy part in his office is a couple weeks after he's been disbarred, because he's already spent a while looking for her any living relatives she might have.
Yep.
And then this is shortly after that, I believe.
Okay. I know the conceit is kind of like, yeah, don't think about the timeline of this too much, but this might be important because, like, if Vera actually described, say, Kristoff, Phoenix might not click that is that person.
It's a presentational thing. It's not really clear if this is the Mason system generating this conversation or if this actually happened and Phoenix is just like what's the word I'm looking for? Dictating it, I guess.
Yeah. And it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm sure, like, whatever we're about to find out is not going to be, like, you know, if there was just a straight-up description of Gavin, I'm sure Phoenix would just be like, oh, okay, I know the description of that person now, and not put two and two together, because that's not the point of that information being communicated. But something I thought about just then of, like, would he actually know Kristoff by description at this point? And you talked with them? Well, I guess, Drew also said that they were wearing, like, something to conceal their identity. What's this about a good luck charm you received?
I can't talk about it.
Eh?
If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told.
Convenient. Yeah, but I really, really have to know. Right. Time to do some psyche unlocking. Magatama this child, Phoenix. The client. You seem to trust this client quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you this stamp?
No, that's not why. They listen to me. For my problem.
The problem that keeps her inside all the time?
Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I had to do was use a good luck charm.
Good luck charm that your client gave you? I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm?
Take that!
Yeah. This was what they gave you, wasn't it? The same bottles over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right?
I heard once. Cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power.
Ah. Of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting any more on that one. Thank you, Phoenix. I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually. The one who asked you to do this job. Was just literally asking me to name the client.
Yeah, and that's why it's a bit weird. Because if Phoenix knew this for 7 years, what was stopping him from just going to the police and being like, I know, I was set up and here's proof?
Yeah.
Either that or he's such a petty gay that he spent 7 years plotting his revenge against his ex-husband.
Yeah, it's like, no, I can't do this like a normal person. I need this to be elaborate. Yeah. It's a bit of a... What? Huh. Yeah, the more I think about it, it's really weird we're just saying this now. Huh. This man is a friend of mine. Know him? His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually.
I promise. I promise not to tell.
Like, all of that setup saying, like, oh yeah, I couldn't tell who the person was and all that, and we just did it.
I was working on this story for 2 years, and he just tweeted it out.
Yeah, really. I did all this groundwork for the mystery, and then they just said the solution, like...
I'm sorry, I can't talk about the client, I promised. And if I break my promise, the spell won't work.
I don't need a name anymore. I've got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, then. Also, I recall now that when Vera fainted, she called the client the devil. And now
The devil, yeah.
Which, like, yeah, obviously pretty cartoonish, but, like... And also, doesn't surprise me considering Christoph, because, yeah, dude can be pretty intimidating. But, like, what happened in between now and then that she would... Huh.
Just keep going. You'll get the answer
yes.
sooner than you think.
I understand. I'm just thinking out loud to, think. And also keep it on record for stream, so later on we can look back and go, oh, wow, that was the reason. You're pretty confident in this charm, then?
I think they might be the devil.
Just press A, Wolfie. Press A. What are you doing? Just let the game tell you.
You and Luca have the exact same problem, and it's so fucking funny every single time.
How does this keep happening? This happened a hell of a lot with, like, AI, the Somnium Files. This happened with Phoenix Wright. Like, just press A.
If nothing else, these games are exquisite at anticipating the player response.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, man. Ugh. Huh?
Or maybe an angel?
What do you mean?
I saw it, or I think I saw it when they gave me this. I saw the devil's face.
Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's?
No, the client was gentle, with a gentle smile.
So, where do you see this devil, then?
It was so quick, I don't remember well.
Welcome, Cookie. You are a little late. But, hey, you're here, and that's what matters.
But that's when I knew that person wasn't like other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm.
I'm not sure what this devil she saw was. But it's pretty clear that Christoph Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. Yes, we were just told about the devil. I'm sorry for what happened. If you want to apologize, try my client, Zach Gramery.
Did I do something bad?
What makes you think that?
Your eyes, they're sad. Very sad.
I'll put on my smile next time I come. Promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera.
Oh. Okay.
Take care. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forger, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realized it, it was already too late. 7 years. Phoenix carries the eyes of a sad boy wherever he goes now. Yeah, true. Okay, so now we've got Valiant.
Valiant, Shady, and Kristoff.
Yeah. Kristoff is an absolute no-go. I'm pretty sure we don't have what we need for Shady, based on what the conversation we had. And I do have more Grammary stuff now, so this makes the most sense for now.
Yeah.
Where were we at with you? Right, blackmail. What? Why did the game or...
Weird. I thought that was my end.
Yeah, no, that was on stream too. What the fuck? Like it didn't, like it's not even, the game didn't even hitch because Valiant was still animating. It just... Okay. Don't worry about it. Just keep playing the video game. Trick up his sleeve. Flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. And that's what I'm going to find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder.
Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales.
And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? My guess is it was a matter of life or death.
Care to explain?
No. I don't know what I'm going for here, but your troupe lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it?
Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it.
Don't think I do.
I think you do.
Oh. Is it this?
Keep going.
Did I have this the whole time and I just didn't understand? Have proof of this danger.
This is a little bit difficult because I don't know if you remember, and it's not really marked in evidence
Okay.
here.
Do you want to
But-
give me a little nudge then?
Yes. So there was some part of their act that did involve real danger.
Oh, right. The pistol was
Yeah,
part of that.
it does fire real bullets.
Right. Yeah, that tracks.
Why, that's one of ours.
Specially designed for your show, I gather. A single bullet. One shot.
What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers.
I'm not crying murder, Mr. Valiant. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident.
A Zack and Fallon's quick draw shoot 'em. How long has it been since those shots were last heard?
Phoenix points that thing to him through the gate, through the glass. Yeah. Was the shoot 'em cancelled because someone might get hurt?
Of course, what other reason could there be?
Well, it could have been cancelled because someone had already been hurt.
Fascinating, my Faustian forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol?
Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage?
The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim was shot?
I don't know, because I keep not seeing her everywhere. This weird blank space in the middle of this stamp. That's who you shot. Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he walks it with me. A life was sacrificed so that the show could go on, and this shows who it was.
I don't think you would do the stamp yet. You have a piece of evidence that only has Thalassa in it.
Oh, yeah, I do.
A word, if I may.
Yes?
Does it excite you to know you stand at a critical moment in your quest?
Yeah, it does. Sort of.
Then you'd never make it on stage. You're not fit to be a magician. Give it up.
I can actually be considering that as a career option.
I'm sure you'll find something else to while away the time.
Yeah, like figuring out who that bullet hit. Life was sacrificed.
You do.
Oh. Oh, that's just that, right.
Yeah.
Ripped out page. And I see that everything has been set up. Also, I would be... also, I sent... Yeah, okay. I don't care about that. Oh, right.
But that's...
Zack Gramarie's wife, and Trucy's mother. Thalassa, I believe, was her name. I don't think too many people have talked about her. It's kind of weird.
Because But how can you say this? How can you say she was struck by one of our bullets?
Still in denial mode, eh? I will say there is something that is kind of cogent there of like everyone, well, certain people like completely avoiding the topic of Thalassa. But it gets silly when like even Phoenix and Vera just like do not say her name at all. Especially Vera, considering how like obsessed she is with them.
And it's weird because you don't even get a profile for her until you've presented the locket to Zack at the Vorspul Club.
Yeah. Very strange. Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot.
And that's why I think the Mason system is more of like a presentational quirk than anything, because canonically Phoenix doesn't learn that Thalassa was Zack's wife until 7 years into the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah,
so he should not know this information.
Right, this is contrived to actually present the information, not record the events.
Yeah.
And this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. Pistol again?
Men or bear?
Yeah, really. I don't understand it. Why would a woman choose a bear? This is the strangest thing. You get mold. I don't... What am I... Shows just how much danger she was in. Yeah, she was in danger of being shot during the trick. So, like...
Yeah, but you haven't yet established to Valent that Thalassa was part of the troupe. You've established that she was Magnifie's daughter, but not that she was on stage with them.
Oh, that's dumb.
It's very dumb.
Yeah, and this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. Does not read to me as established she was actually in the troupe, because, like...
Again, men are bears.
Yeah. With some Phoenix embellishment to make him seem cooler. Yeah, apparently. Troupe Gramarye's performances were very, very popular. Although, there is something funny to that, how he presents the situation that went down with Vera, and the idea that, like, he's actually rewritten that somewhat to make him seem like, you know, a bit, like good at dealing with her, and trying to get her to talk and stuff like that. I like the idea that, like, what actually happened, it was a bit more rough and way more awkward, and Phoenix was like, no, I'm not gonna put that in writing.
Yeah, and in real life, he fucked up so bad that Vera just put her hand on his and said, "I will tell you whatever it takes to get you to stop talking."
Yeah, exactly. All right, Juris, you'll be using a specialized tool for this case called... Oh, fucking...
Allow me to present this information via the computer that hallucinates.
Yeah, really. There's a fucking legal video that talks about a lawyer presenting something generated by ChatGPT, and it just made up a case.
I am still astonished that happened. Like, this is your whole job. Being a lawyer is mostly just citing cases, and you couldn't even do that.
Yeah. Well, and, like, it makes some sense if you just do not understand what ChatGPT is actually doing. Like, if you think, yes, it's going to go out and look for this information for me, it makes sense. But when you realize it is scraping the internet to try and predict what the words you're trying to look for are, no. Absolutely not. So popular, they even made a commemorative stamp at the height of your fame.
We were not merely the latest craze, we were an age, a golden age. The age of golden gods.
It's all here on this stamp. There's Thalassa, yes? Trucy's mother is missing, I hear. What happened to her?
I don't know.
Part of his memory is still locked up.
There's one thing you're failing to address.
What's that?
As you say, our troop was a world unto itself. If our leader, Magnifi, was so inclined, he could hide anything he wished with ease. But Mr. Wright... Then he could have hid a crime, making him an accomplice.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, this one feels like they had the material for 2 locks and stretched it into 4.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that hunch, too.
Not a great foundation for blackmail.
Like, it feels like... So, it's not like Ace Attorney hasn't done stuff like this before, where it gets you to demonstrate something very, very obvious, right? Usually, the point of that is to bring... Or, ideally, the point of that is to make sure that that has been restated to later become relevant. But this is like established Thalassa was part of the Gramarye troupe. Like, it feels impossible because it is just such a basic piece of information that it's like, how do I prove she was in the troupe she was famous for being in? Like, what are you asking me?
It feels like they expect you to keep going back and chipping away at the locks one at a time. It's like, okay, no, but we've done the homework. We know that Thalassa was
you know, not only is Zach Gramarie's wife, but also the third member of the troop. Like,
Yeah.
this is
like,
information that you learn back to back.
Well, not only that, but like the player is presented that multiple times, yet in gameplay it's treated as something to actually address. But like, again, it's such a like core piece of information to the troop, which is honestly kind of weird. I feel like they brought up Thalissa and her position in the troop before it became a point of contention here. And it would have actually made a bit more sense if everyone is talking around Thalissa because she disappeared and no one wants to address that. And suddenly you get this commemorative stamp and you're like, wait a minute, who's this woman here? Like, she was part of the troop and no one brought that up? But like, they've talked about her enough previously that doesn't really make sense as the takeaway.
And it's not like Magnifi unpersoned her. Like, she's still very clearly visible on that stamp and other pieces of iconography. Like,
yeah, like I mean, like, you know, like Valen is kind of saying here, like, yeah, he could have, like, well, I guess that's more funny coincidence than the actual point. That yeah, they could have Mike Wazowski'd her. It wouldn't have been that hard, given, like, you know, clearly no one talks about her too much, but, like, yeah, it feels like, two sets of writing that have different uses of the fact that Thalissa is part of the troop, and it doesn't actually connect very well, if that makes sense. Like, one is treating it as a big point, the other is treating it as basic information, and then, yeah, you get this situation, I guess. Alan's got a point. One of the troop members died in an accident, and Magnifi covered it up. His innocence would come into question.
found the right address, Mr. Wright?
So close. There has to be something about how Thaliss's death could affect Zack and Valen's relationship with Magnifi.
I see in your eyes you still have something to say. How can you possibly prove more than you already have?
I'll prove why Thaliss's accident tied your hands so completely.
It's with a person. This part's really stupid.
Okay. It's going to take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands, and this information proves why Magnifi held so much power over you. Okay, give me a sec. You want me to point to a person?
Yes. And this is a character profile you don't get until you've talked to some other people. I struggled so hard at this point when I first played it. I lost most of my health from just throwing evidence at him until I realized I wanted something else.
Okay, I want to hear this out. It wasn't a question of who shot Thalissa. Thalissa herself was the problem.
What do you mean?
She was Zack Gramarie's wife, Trucy's mother, and Magnifi Gramarie's only daughter. There was a terrible accident, and the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If that wasn't the key to Magnifi's power over you, I don't know what it was.
It was an accident.
Um... That's funny, because I feel like the place it ended up was perfectly fine. But, like...
But getting there is weird, right?
Yeah, getting there is really, really strange. It's just like, it feels very prove the existence of Thalassa, and Thalassa, like, and then it's... Like, that solution feels so obvious and yet so unintuitive to get to. Kind of like what I was explaining before, where, like, trying to prove something that is, like, so obviously true that it's actually kind of hard to convince someone of it, because it's...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, like such a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Because nothing in that profile is there's new information. Like, you've talked about all of that already in this conversation, so it feels weird that that's the final clincher.
Yeah, because it's like, it was Thalassa. It was Thalassa. It was Thalassa. It's like, we already established that. Why are we... What, you want me to say it for the fourth time that it was Thalassa?
Yeah, because the problem is, the game treats the fact that Thalassa is Trucy's mom, the fact that Thalassa was Zack's wife, and the fact that Thalassa was Magnifie's daughter as three different pieces of information, even though you basically learn them all at once.
Yeah.
So, to the player, it's like, okay, this is a woman who was, Zack's wife. She gave birth to Trucy, and because of that, Trucy inherited Magnifie's perception talent.
Well, yeah, that was what I was going to bring up earlier, is, like, the fact that, like, it's not just you killed someone, it's you killed someone in my family that has that skill. Like, that also feels pretty significant in terms of how much weight Thalassa's death has. Sorry, continue. I interrupted you.
But yeah, it's like, in the player's brain, all this information is the same information. It is her position in the family tree. Like, that is one piece of information, but this game treats it like, this part treats it like three different pieces that need three different pieces of evidence to explain. Yeah. And it's like, if you have Thalassa's profile, why do you have to present the locket if it's functionally just saying this is who died in the accident?
Yeah, like, yeah, it seems kind of redundant. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the reveal of Iris's sister. Or that Iris has a sister. Where... but it's kind of the opposite, where, like, it's just said, and it's actually treated with the gravity that it has. Like, if I remember correctly, Bikini says something to the effect of, oh, well, yeah, the three children of Morgan, and Phoenix is like, I'm sorry, 3? I thought there were 2. And that is treated with actual gravity. Whereas this is like trying to make you get to the position that you would be wowed with something they already established. Like, it's not even like it's obfuscated and you need to kind of, like, if you're paying attention or put the clues together correctly, you would come to that conclusion. The game has already demonstrated to you that she is the daughter of Magnifie, she is the wife of Zack, and the mother of Trucy. In fact, it was literally said earlier in that Psyche Lock sequence, in that order, but it simultaneously... Yeah, I mean, I've said enough about it, I think. It simultaneously gets treated as a bombshell, but also a known fact. And that doesn't make sense. This is for the jurors, just in case, in my headcanon. Yeah, but the unfortunate thing is that it puts the player in an odd position, because now you've got this thing that is trying to inform an uninformed jury about what's going on here, and that is at cross purposes with what the player actually understands. Well, actually, no, because the jurors should be able to... I don't know. I feel like if that was actually the case, Cookie, like, there's a more convincing way you can write that than, it having the impact on the gameplay side of things that it actually does, where the player is like, okay, here, take all my evidence that has the word Thalassa on it. To prove something extant from that fucking, that piece of evidence. Yeah, definitely very weird.
There's no proof, not at all.
But Thalassa went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. Doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. The phrase is 2 and 2, you son of a bitch.
Maybe it's like an American bastardization of that phrase.
Potentially, yeah.
Ours was a complex family.
You mean Troop Grammary?
The master of Magnify Grammary, his only daughter, and his 2 disciples.
It does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it?
Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, there was an accident.
Wait, hold on a second. What? Right, they're not related. Oh my god. Well, of course, Zack and, Thalassa weren't. When they were saying before only daughter, for some reason I shortcutted that as specifically only daughter and not only child.
Yeah, Zack and Valent were just, like, random dudes who, like, studied under Magnify, and then he decided to go with the family theme for the troop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they all changed their names to kind of work that way. Yeah, I don't know why I never put that together. For some reason, up to this point, like, they obviously refer to themselves as disciples, but it was very easy to read the face of it being a family as they are literally related somehow, but no.
But that is all it was, an accident. Zack and Valent's tour de force. The guns blaze, the bullets fly, straight towards that beautiful body on stage. Then crash, zing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day while we were practicing. Same trick with a new twist. And a tragedy. That's whose bullet stole Thalas's life.
I thought this was gonna, yeah.
We shall never know the answer. Thalas had disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of his wife. Trucy lost her mother. And Magnify, his daughter.
And that led to blackmail, I take it.
It is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtain falls.
Check out our magic trick, sucking acid shooting. The darkness. Why did Magnify Grammary try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died.
All I can say is it was a critical time for Troop Grammary. A passing of the torch from Magnify to Zack and Valent. We all sacrificed so it might be a success.
Not Thalassa?
Thalas's death was the greatest sacrifice of all. Yet...
Why Zack and... I can't tell if Valent focusing on Zack and Valent is meant to be deliberate, or if Magnify just did not consider passing things on to Thalassa.
I feel like the impression I get is that Magnify was a very old-fashioned patrician. He probably thought, well, I need a male heir to carry on my my stupid magic bullshit.
Yeah.
And like, he thought, oh, good, my daughter is married, she has a child, she will settle down and get out of this man's world of magic.
Yeah, it's
Or
just...
maybe,
oh, sorry, go on.
or maybe he figured that by bequeathing the rights to Zack, he is in effect, giving them to Zack and Thalissa.
Right, because obviously Zack would probably bring Thalissa along with him to continue that work. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Either
just...
way, Valiant BTFO.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the funny thing is that it's a bit strange to suggest that Zack and Valiant were the ones that would receive that, and not, and Thalissa just wasn't considered at all, and then have Magnify blackmail both Valiant and Zack because of the death. Because my guess would have been that, well, you killed my only daughter, so now this is, like, you will do what I say, or that will come out. Like, as like, a get back at them. But I guess it could also just be, like, to serve his purposes and to ensure they don't fuck around in that way.
Yeah, I feel like on his deathbed, he's one of those old people who cares a lot about his legacy.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to ensure that his act survives even after he's gone. It's a real piece of work.
Yeah. Certainly is.
Even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not.
What do you mean? We've avoided talking about her for the last, 2 hours. For some reason.
In time, we, myself, and Zack... Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't a me, myself, and I. In time, we, myself, and Zack, found we could no longer oppose Magnify's wishes. Magnify forced us to perform his art for his benefit.
I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter.
But do you not find cowardice in his actions?
Huh?
To desire to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing. But then to hang that death as a guillotine above our heads?
Things were dark behind the scenes in True Gramarye, that's for sure. Does Trucy know? And also... I don't know if cowardly is the word I would use there. That seems like you're a little bit self-absorbed there, Valiant. That, how could he do this to me after we killed his daughter?
Valiant, self-absorbed? No.
No. What? That's crazy. Does Trucy know?
He was not told, naturally.
We told her she went out to get cigarettes.
Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life?
True.
I had not thought of that accident for a very long time.
I bet you had. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot.
Not to find Magnify's slayer, I should think.
True.
After that accident...
I can accept covering up your daughter's death, but blackmail? You can accept covering up her death? Yeah.
There was one who came sniffing quite persistently.
A reporter?
He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking about the dressing room doing his research.
He continues to do that to this day. Would you happen to remember his name?
What was his name? Sorry, I've forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zack. I liked him not.
Don't blame you. I see.
His name, I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of mint. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often.
Ah yes, Sparsh Bruckle. Thank you, Cookie. I see. Thanks for your help.
It does no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers, only wounds.
I'm sorry. I began to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Gramarye, and I began to realize what I had to do. I had to protect Trucy from that darkness. The reporter he mentioned, the newsman, never learned who that was at the time, though I've got a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile, that sickly sweet smell of mint. Someone has made a fucking meme of that damn smile with Brushel, haven't they? I feel like that's a thing that must exist given this line here. That damn smile. Last floss-thin thread connecting Zack Gramarye to this world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. And I think we're done on the past, then? Yep.
That's all.
Oh, thank you, game, for moving me over. Oh. Wait, Phoenix turned up at the crime scene? What? Well, again, I guess this is contrived, so... So, we're coming up on 2 o'clock. Or, sorry, 12 o'clock your time.
Yeah.
Do we have time for one of these?
Yeah, I think we can probably push through one of them.
Okay. Yeah. Who and what is gonna be here, I wonder? Present day, Drew's studio. Or it might be Brushel, who knows? I jinxed it. Oh dear. Hey? Well, what do we have here? Remember me? Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar, end quote. Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Measham was poisoned and his daughter's... Oh, yes, I know. Oh, how I know, yes. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he'd tracked down Case just a little quicker, end quote. Were you on the trail of this case the whole time? Zack Gramarye was a good friend. Zack said something to that effect back at the Borscht Bowl Club. What a character. What a man. If a little... no, a lot. No, extremely rough around the edges. Do you think I could ask you a few questions? Oh, you serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not other way round. End quote. Fine, shoot, I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately. Get away from me, sir. Maybe we'll just stick to it. Is there anything important to actually examine in the room, out of curiosity?
I don't think so, but there is something you have to present to him to unlock one of his dialogue options. I do remember that.
Okay, that's fine then. Family of Forgers. It's tragic what happened to Drew Measham and his daughter. Forgery is a serious crime, and they paid the price. You know what really did them in, though? You know what really did them in, though, don't you? Yes. Forged diary page. The night I interviewed him, found out something about Mr. Measham I hadn't known. What's that? You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years. Walls have ears, potatoes have eyes, end quote. Being watched? You mean he felt guilty? No, I'm not talking about feelings here. Huh? Sir. Vulpix the Sniffer.
What? Like, honestly, in a series full of freak characters, he might be the most freak, and that's saying something.
Yeah, that's kind of impressive, honestly. You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of neck. Freaks out. End quote. Because you felt guilty? Oh, why would I feel guilty? Felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. Oh, that changed. Paranoia. Drew Measham felt like he was... hair in my mouth. Ugh. Drew Measham felt like he was being watched, and you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves? Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. I believe that. I felt it too. Journalist sure he's being watched. End quote. It's so weird hearing that dramatic music chime in with the voice I've given him.
Yeah.
It's just, don't you wonder why Zach Gramery got rubbed out after 7 years? Don't say it like that. Right after coming into contact with me? Stop saying it like that. He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then for 7 years, he talks to no one. Not a soul. And just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made. Oh, right, because he's a notary. And then he dies. So I can put the pieces together, are we? And you were being watched this whole time. Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too. Me? The Christoph Anywhere system. I met Zach through that case, actually. Didn't you wonder why he got rubbed out right after I rubbed him? God damn it. You mean the shooting of Magnifi Gramery? No, before that. It's not widely known. You mean the accident during the quick draw shoot-'em practice? My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy, all for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now. What does that mean? What, you use stale mint deliberately? Like, what the fuck do you mean?
It's a really weird euphemism for I was younger and greener back then.
Yeah. Valent Gramery did mention one particularly nosy reporter. In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magni Gramery at the time. I knew his daughter too, of course. Thalsa, was it? Really? And Thalsa disappeared. Quite suddenly at that. And Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Man, it's such a missed opportunity with Thalsa in particular that they didn't actually lean more into the fact that no one fucking talks about her. Because that would have given this a whole lot more weight to it, like, oh, yeah, there's some really dark shit going on, and that includes covering up a murder of someone's daughter. And the chilling effect that has had is felt in-game until Thalassa is actually brought into focus. Oh man, that would have been really, really cool. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy. End quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Thalas's husband, see? Zach Gramery. Something strange was in the air over at Troop Gramery in those days. The whole screwy mentor-controlling disciples scene had started by then, I'm guessing. Thalassa, she was part of it all, right? Come on, you can tell me, off the record. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times, but over time he came to see me as his confidant. I don't know what he sees in you, dude. I'm gonna be real. It's probably the only person that actually knows who he is over those 7 years having disappeared, and he's like, oh, well, I guess I have to make friends with someone. He's been waiting this whole time, 7 years. He's been waiting this whole time. 7 years, eh? Oh, sorry, that was Brushel. Waiting? For his big comeback, of course. A big revival of the Magnifique Miracle. Of course, it was all a dream. And I'm also reminded now that I think... Did you have to show the pink envelope to Valant at some point?
Yeah, you did.
That's so... I'm actually kind of surprised that he hasn't acted on that yet. Like, obviously within the scope of this thing, he's not going to, because it's just recordings of what happened. But in the actual world, Valant was shown that, and he seemed to understand that it was a bad news, but he hasn't tried anything? Which is a bit strange to me, but... A big revival of the Magni Miracle. Of course, it was all a dream. Because of this. The performance rights. In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zack and Valant? So Valant waited until Zack died. Legally, at least. The time finally comes, and Valant's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know. If that document sees the legal light of day, it's gonna put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that Valant Gramarye. Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too. Oh, no. Of course. Love? Yeah, he was in love with Zack. It's the same old story, really. Two disciples and their mentor's only daughter. What has three sides and all of them pointy? A love triangle. That is pretty classic. It's kind of weird they didn't even, like, think about changing it up somewhat there. It's just, interesting choice, writers. Honestly, that would be a really cool twist of just, like, actually, no. Everyone assumes, because it's the trope and you're playing a video game, that, yeah, of course Valant was into Thalassa, but no. You didn't give him the Maximilian Pegasus voice for nothing. That's all I'm saying. When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. My controller go out again? It hasn't done that at all today. Until now. Come on. There we go. It's like family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing. And in the middle of all this, Thalassa has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Thalassa. Really weird that no one fucking mentions her at all. Strange. Okay, so there was something to present to him, but we're getting to midnight now, so... What I'm gonna do is...
We're almost done. You can just push through a bit more.
Okay. I do want to at least after this, I do want to at least have a look at who is at the Colosseum.
For
just
sure.
as a illusion for next time, but, so, the locket? Mr. Brushel, do you know this person? Do I know that person? Of course. I was friends with Zack, after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. Doesn't sound like you had a very good relationship with him. You keep focusing on the fact that he hit you. But still, I'd never forget his wife. Thalassa Gramarye. Magnifique Gramarye's only daughter. Now that I think about it, it is kind of weird that they don't say only child at any point.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very small thing, and I guess it doesn't really matter ultimately, because, you know, she was still his daughter, so, you know, that does matter. But yeah. Huh. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? You know I love the sound of my own voice, mister, right? So, Thalassa married Zack and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually. You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before. Not quite. Her late husband was a performer too. He died. Apparently he died during some gig. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year. I didn't know. Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know? Not creepy at all. Definitely not creepy at all. So who was the other partner? I've known Trucy since she was a little thing too. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all. Oh. Wow, that's... Huh. You know, this character is very fucking weird, but I gotta admit, he's kind of on the ball with reading everyone that we've met so far. Huh? What do you mean? Just reminiscing, you know? Thalissa has another child besides Trucy, end quote. What? But Trucy said she was an only child. Ah, yes. This one she had with her previous husband. Her previous husband? The first husband, who died during a performance? Yep, they had themselves a kid. Who? Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. What? Wait! Wait, what? What? Why are we bringing this up? It's like, yeah, Trucy's not an only child. Don't know where that kid is anymore, but thought I'd just bring that up. What? Thalissa had another child? Do you think I could borrow that photo? Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know? Photo of a young Thalissa, Trucy's mother. I don't need this locket anymore. Foop. You know, Trucy's most oh yeah, okay. Better return it to Trucy before I forget. I was gonna say, God. Well, this isn't useful for the court record anymore. Yeet. People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think? I was too busy wondering about biggerer. I didn't even fucking read that. Yeah, get biggerer and biggerer. I was too busy wondering about biggerer to listen to what you were saying. Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think. Maybe so. Still, I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find. I have to tell what I find to those who come next. Next, you say? I'm not the one who closed the curtain on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. Magnify. I was just wondering what Magnify would think of all this. What do you mean? Haven't you seen it in Trucy? She's got his power. Again! This dude has such a good read on people. What the fuck? You mean how I can't lie to Trucy? It was the same with Magnify. Or, I will say, there is something interesting about this. You know how there's that confusion between, like, whether the blue dialogue is said in whispers or in their head? And Trucy...
Yeah, it's very inconsistent.
Well, no, but I like the idea that now there is a person where that doesn't matter. And actually, that is a power of hers. And that... Like, I don't know if the game plays into that, to be very clear, but I like the idea that, like, actually that doesn't matter anymore, because Trucy can hear it, so, yeah. Huh. It was the same with Magnify, and with his daughter, Thalissa. It's a strange thing. You think it's some Gramarye gene? Magnify told me once, back when Zack married Thalissa. He said Zack had good eyes. They're not good like a Gramarye's eyes. Not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. Who knows what the Gramarye secret was? Maybe nobody, now that Zack's gone. Zack Gramarye. If only there was some way to go back in time and talk to him. Wouldn't that be neat, Mr. Wright? The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Gramarye fabric and grew and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Gremory's power. Yeah, the diamond motif. The power which passed from Magnifi Gremory to Thalassa, to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet... Oh my god. It's Apollo, isn't it? Don't actually answer the question. To be clear. It's Apollo. Apollo is Trucy's, Apollo is, Thalassa's other child. The child would be older than Trucy, and presumably would be able to have the abilities. Although, Apollo does have the wrist, but I don't know how much that's... That thing hasn't been explained at all, and it's probably going to explain why he has the power he does, but, like... Yeah. That's my cold shot.
You got some new evidence there, right?
I think so, yeah. I can't look at that right now, because Phoenix is monologuing. Thanks, Phoenix. The one who bridged it all together. I don't know if that actually makes sense, but that seems to make sense in my head at the very least. What? Oh, I can't look at the court record in this mode.
Well, you were gonna check out the Sunshine Coliseum before we go anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All right, whomst are we talking to here today? That could be Valant.
And speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, look at that new evidence you got.
Yeah. It's got the wristband. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Am I misremembering, or was there an actual focus on the fact that the women in this bloodline had this power? Am I misremembering?
No, it was just the Grammarys in general.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Cool.
But the actual bloodline, like, since Zack and Valant aren't blood related to Magnifi, they don't have it.
Yep.
They don't have the sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. That took me a minute to put together, because I was just like, if we left that open, they're either not actually important and will come up in the future, or they are actually or have already been introduced. And I was like, who do I know that would be around Trucy's age that presumably has a power like that? I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, too, he also grew up adopted or in an orphanage. So, yeah. Quirky, Grammary, freeze-it, magical style. Cookie. Why did you make me read those words? Do you want to get through this little bit of dialogue to the bit where we start asking questions and then wrap it up, or?
Sure, yeah, that works for me.
Okay, awesome.
Well, this is a blast from a distant past.
Long time no see, Mr. Valant.
7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Actually, out of curiosity, what is everyone's ages here? 22, 32, 47, 15, 44, 52, deceased. 31, 40, 19, 36. Okay. I do appreciate they gave him a little bit, a few wrinkles here and there.
Yeah, and his hair is visibly grayer than it
Yes.
was 7 years ago.
Yes, that was definitely the thing where I was like, hang on, how old is he? It's like 44. Ah, yes. Graying an old 44.
I mean, hey, I'm not even cresting 30 yet, and I'm already going gray.
Oh, yeah, since I've been growing out my hair, I realized I had a few more grays than I realized, and I'm 33, but most of that I am chalking up to the pandemic, though. I'm pretty sure I didn't have a single one before then, and then
Yeah, I think it's just genetic for me. My mom told me that she started going gray at 30, and she started dyeing her hair like religiously. But she told me if she could go back and do it again, she wouldn't because it's way too much cost and upkeep for something that doesn't really matter ultimately. And like, but she's she worried that she can't stop now because it'll look like she went gray overnight, and that'll make people judge her. Whatever. So.
Yeah, that is that is a bit unfortunate that like you've done it for so long that like it's the norm. So when you go back to what's actually like normal, everyone's like, "Wait, what? What happened? Are you okay?" Oh wow. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you.
I've spoken to the press. I have nothing more to say.
I've spoken to a lot of people myself, and come to some conclusions. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. What questions have you... Okay. Alright, well I think this is a good place to end it anyway.
Absolutely.
Let's jump back to here, because that's got... This is entering the Mind Palace so I can think. Wow, so it's unclear to me at this point. I feel like Valent is involved in this, but I don't know how much is... The thing I'm really curious about right now is... It seems like Kristoff and Valent end up having some kind of parallel set of goals. Well, sorry, a set of goals that could see them working together to some degree. Because killing Zack before he can get the word out, obviously helps Valent. And it's not clear why that would help Kristoff. Unless, again, I've kind of touched on this already, but unless he was involved in the forgery and all of that stuff and, you know, trying to keep people quiet and whatnot. Yeah, I guess, and yeah, there's just, like, the big question that, gets posed to Kristoff that we may not even ever get an answer to, because of the black psyche locks, is why? Like, what does he get out of doing anything or getting involved in this? Did he know that he had a... Because Apollo would have been 12? 7 years ago? He's like 19 or something, right?
15. He'll be 15.
Oh, no, yeah, right. He's 22. Yeah. Because, like, it's also kind of, funny that he ends up with a protege who is Thalas's son. You know, assuming I'm right, to be fair. What is his deal? Because the thing is, too, he's getting involved with something that's, like, really dark and deep, and he's gone, like, at least from my perspective at this point, he has gone to a lot of effort to make what has happened transpire. So, like, he is not unmotivated in this. He's not, like, accidentally doing it or just incidentally doing it. Like, there is a maliciousness and deviousness to the implication that Kristoff is involved in this that is intriguing to me. Very intriguing. But, yeah, and, like... Actually, sorry. I want to double check. What was the topic that actually got locked? I can't remember if it was literally just the question of... Oh, no, it is, yeah,
it was
reason.
Yeah, motive for murder.
Yeah. It was literally that. Bury the Light starts playing. Yeah, it's just... Oh, man, I'm fascinated in Kristoff as a character. I guess it's still a shame that, like, it feels like there are a few more pieces here that, if just like nudged into the right place, could have actually created a lot more of a consistent and like dark tone, with like Thalassa just like never being mentioned or talked about by anyone, and that being intentional rather than being sloppily given to the player as information and then acted on weirdly. But beside that, like, I really, really like the way this case is, forming up at the moment. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say, but... it's not coming to me. But regardless, yeah, so, just for my own, just for understanding, like, the scheduling and stuff for this, or, sorry, the structure of the rest of the game here. We're gonna get done, you know, ticking boxes here, and then we're going into a trial, and is that the last...
It is, yes. Yep. You go right from here to the trial, and that's the final segment of this game.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there's probably 2 or 3 more streams there, because it'd probably be 2 streams for the trial. I imagine it's probably going to be a big one. And this is probably like a break's worth of stream, maybe. Who knows? I'll have to make an effort to just make sure I get up on time. I do have to apologize both to you, Mina, and to Stream for just, like, dropping the ball today. Rolled over to try and get more sleep and was like, uh-oh, that was a bad decision.
Listen, sleep is always more important than this. I'm willing to give you much more of my time than I think you anticipate.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. But yeah, so, yeah, we've probably got, another couple of weeks, or a couple of weekends worth of this. And yeah, you didn't have, like, an obvious interruption to things until October, right?
Yes, Canadian Thanksgiving is on Sunday, October 13th. So I will be going up to my parents that weekend to, you know, do that's a bit of ceremony.
Yeah.
So I will be unavailable that Saturday night, but we're definitely gonna cap this off next week, though. I don't think that's a concern.
Okay, sure. That sounds good.
Like, if we like, assuming we start on time next week, like, I think there's barely 4 hours of material left in the game.
Oh, okay. Well, never underestimate my ability to stop and just blab about game design and stuff like that, but no, I could see that, actually. Okay. Good to know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, at the very least. Tune in next weekend, where we find out just how fucked up and twisted Christoph's mind is. In the meantime, I'm pretty sure we're still gonna be raiding tonight, and on Tuesday. I did 2 streams of Elden Ring last week. I'm hoping I can keep that up, but I think I've almost definitively hit a wall that I hit bosses that I need to kill.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think the other thing was I could keep exploring the keep to see if I could find a way out west, but yeah. I've been tracking down the what is it?
The Scadutree blessings?
No. I've been following the quest line with Emir and getting the sword. Yep. Found some interesting things along that quest line that has made me look back on the rest of the game and go, wait, hold on. Yeah. Very interesting. Oh, very frustrating too. Those lampreys are fucking... Oh, sorry, lampreys? No, what the hell are the... I feel like they called them something in game and I just don't remember. Yeah, Wolfie? What? Sorry, Cookie, I don't think I saw where you said that, so I don't know what that's referring to. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah. More Elden Ring. I don't think there's anything special happening during the week, so hopefully it's raiding and Elden Ring. Next week, we'll be returning to Paranorma Site, because this weekend I really wanted to get into I'm Your Beast, and I really enjoyed that. But I can't wait to get back to Paranorma Site, because I really want to talk about the shit that's been happening in that, because I've had a lot of time to think about it, and... well, actually, I can't say anything here, because that would be a gigantic spoiler, but, the quest you're doing that's making you reevaluate the game. Oh, yes. No, that makes sense. Yeah, there's some shit in that. Have you played Paranormal Site, Mina?
I haven't. I really want to, but it came out at a time when I was not very financially stable.
Right.
So it was very difficult to, to get on that train while it was still barreling through the hype station. I'll definitely get to it, but like, I just got the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, basically on a whim because I heard it was so short printed in Canada. I'm very lucky that I did, because the store I bought it from has since sold out of it as well, so I think I might own one of the last copies printed in the country.
Damn.
So, yeah, I mean, at the very least, one of the last copies printed in Ontario, because I've checked, like, every major retailer, and that was, like, the only one that still had copies when I was checking. And I checked, by the way, I was checking, like, 2 days after launch as well. It's not like this was, like, you know, months afterwards. For some reason, some games get really short printed here. I remember it happening with Samurai Showdown as well, the 2019 3D reboot.
Huh.
I really wanted that game, and I didn't want to get it digitally, but I didn't pre-order it because stock had never been a problem for games up until that point. And when I went out on the day it came out to go buy a copy, the first 3 stores I went to didn't have it. So I was very surprised by that. All 3 of them were like, yeah, we only got like 2 copies in, and they were both reserved for pre-orders. So,
Wow.
I hate pre-orders as a practice, but it seems like in Canada, sometimes if you want to actually get a physical copy of a niche game, they're the only way you can.
Yeah, the only way you can guarantee it. Oh, that sucks. Glad to hear you got it at the very least. Oh, yeah. So, with Paranormal Site, I am really curious to see your thoughts on the bit I got to in that game. Because I hit a moment in the game where I hit a thing that I thought I got stuck on. And the rest of the stream, once I realized what I needed to do, was 40 minutes of me not progressing the game and just talking about what happened.
Yeah.
I am very curious to see if you have a similar experience with that than as I did, because yeah, I won't say anything more, because like even describing the thing in a vague term could like kind of spoil it to some degree.
Interesting.
Yes, I have a lot of thoughts about what happens at that point, but yeah. Ace Attorney first and foremost though. We got to see the brand new translation of everything.
Yeah. I'm super excited for that. I haven't even played it yet, and I already have strong opinions on it, because I'm so sick of people being like, the fan translation's so much better. It's like, you're just saying that because it was the first thing you played. You have nostalgia for it. It is, like, objectively more amateurish.
Yeah, like, it sucks, because it probably was never going to be anything more than that, ultimately.
Yeah, and
well,
like...
it was always going to turn out that way, I should say.
I saw a tweet that really set me off just this night, like tonight actually, before we started streaming, where someone quote retweeted a popular YouTuber talking about the game and using the characters' names from the official translation. And this person was like, God, it'll never stop bothering me seeing people use the new names to refer to these characters. It's like, they're not the new names, they're the official names.
Yeah.
More people are going to play this version than the fan translation, which required you to set up an emulator, get a Japanese ROM of the game, and go through a complex file extraction process in order to get it patched. Like,
yeah.
It was a niche way to play a niche spin-off in a niche series. Like, the fact that Great Ace Attorney Collection sold 1 million copies means that more people are going to experience this version than, the fan translation and every YouTube Let's Play of the fan translation combined. Like, come on.
Yeah, like, no, it's silly to like, it has even less ground than the arguments I see about, like, Persona protagonists' actual names when, like, they get renamed in they had different names in the manga and the anime adaptations of it, which, like, not to get into that, but I don't even understand why the fuck that is a thing in the first place. But, like, you're placing a fan translation against the official translation. It's like, yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna go with the official one, because that was the one Capcom released.
Janet Su literally released a blog post talking about how happy they were about the fact that they have a much larger pixel limit per line in this version versus the original. Because that means that they can get, because the original was on DS, right? Mm-hmm. So they were limited by the amount of pixels in a text box, because Ace Attorney likes to have entire lines fit into one box. They do not like to do scrolling boxes.
Yep.
So the fact that this is an HD game that's presented in 1080p, where you can actually, have a full box that takes up the entirety of a widescreen display, means that you can get a lot more flowery with lines, because they're not limited to the most efficient way of delivering a line.
Yeah.
And, that was difficult for official translators working with actual dev kits, The fan translation had to deal with that while also being a team of amateurs who are not professional translators or writers.
Yeah, exactly.
And that definitely like is evident in some points in the game where characters talk in a very straight to the point, bland manner. And I really appreciate what I've seen of the official translation for going the extra mile to give the new characters extra characterization via how they speak and their word choice, which is great.
Yeah, which seems like it would be like a major detractor from the game as a whole, because a lot of the appeal that I've seen, playing the games myself, has been that stuff, where, characters do go out of their way to talk weirdly, or express things in certain ways that colors their character, and being literally limited by the pixels on the screen, and, being that limited in the first place, and then a fan translation coming on, so you're applying fan interpretation on top of that to get the actual translations, and then implying that, well, this is just as good as the official one, is, crazy to me. Half of the charm of it is the fact that the writing they do have in there, from the baseline. That's, yeah.
I'm sorry that you don't like the name Eustace Winter. I'm sorry if you think that Sebastian de Best is the peak of Ace Attorney pun names. This is the version that more people are going to be talking about, and you cannot expect people to use names from a fan translation,
No, that's
11 years after that translation came out or whatever.
rose-tinted glasses that may as well not
exactly
be actual glasses.
You were doing the Ace Attorney fan equivalent of getting upset that people call Meryl instead of Peekaboo.
Straight over my head. What was that?
When the Pokemon Meryl first got its design revealed, people nicknamed it Peekaboo because they didn't know what its English name was. And then when it got revealed as Meryl, some people got legitimately upset about that. And said that they liked the name Peekaboo better. There are actual blog posts from 1999 and 2000 of people complaining about exactly that. And it's
my God.
You are doing that. You are doing that in 2024. Don't do that.
That's insane. Ugh. Cool. Well, that'll be some unique discourse to take part in, or to observe once I actually play those games.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anyone around really to raid, so I think we'll just end it here. Yeah, so, probably more raiding tonight, and Tuesday, Elden Ring some point during the week, Paranormal Site next Saturday, and then back to Ace Attorney Sunday. That's the day I was thinking of. I do have to say too, before we actually go, it's funny you brought up before how the trilogy ends up becoming less about Apollo, because Phoenix has very, very clearly taken the player's perspective and just shoved it into this space where it's okay, you're gonna be watching me go through a bunch of stuff now. Is very funny that in the last minute he's just okay, Apollo's had his time, now I need to come in and demonstrate some stuff for everyone.
Yeah, it's really funny how he just hijacks the game. In the last case of all things as well.
Which makes sense, because he's been alluding to, like, taking the opportunity to try this new jury system and that, so, yeah. Yeah, but that, further exploring of that will be left to next time. So, thank you very much for watching Live on the VODs, I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.
Thanks, everyone.